I'm back! Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Wrestle AM. That's right, coming to you courtesy live of CocoSports.com. Of course, you got me, the sexiest man on all Internet Wrestling Radio. That's right, coming to you live now from Richmond, Virginia. Talk about me, the man, the myth, the legend, Boom Boom here shaking the room. And, of course, joining me, my brother from another mother, the guy who's out dodging typhoons as we speak, the man who has watched more professional wrestling in 24 hours than most of us will ever do this week. I'm talking about the founder, the CEO. I'm talking about Dave Kokotis. And Dave, I could say, man, I am glad to be back. It's great to be back on air. It's great to be back here with the CocoSports.com Internet Infantry. For those of you who may or may have not known, I took a new job out in Richmond. So I moved out here, and things didn't exactly go as smooth as possible. I've been off air for about the past 4 weeks. My apartment wasn't ready. So I spent 2 weeks in an extended stay motel, which was hell in itself because it's just one room. I mean, it's just one room, and I'm in there with my future wife and 2 cats and losing my damn mind. And then plus starting a new job on top of that. Then I had to move everything here, and then need to get cable and internet on top of that. So finally, I'm somewhat settled. And if you want to take a look real quick, kiddies, here's the Casa de Boom Boom.
Oh, so nice. Very beautiful. You must be making that big Coco Sports money to have a place like that.
Exactly. I'm making Dave Kokotis money now.
Oh, man. So, dude, I'm pretty sure I've watched more wrestling. If I'm loopier than usual, it's just because I haven't slept in 48 hours and have watched more professional wrestling that a human being should be allowed to watch.
Well, Dave, you're not sleeping for 48 hours. How is it different from any other time?
It's true. It's true. I got a bunch of painkillers, so I can get through it. But with that said, I was at Bound for Glory. I watched the New Japan fucking thing, and I watched Raw. So I'm pretty sure I've never stopped watching professional wrestling. Ever again. I can't wait for this podcast to be over. I'm gonna do anything but professional wrestling. But as always, Boom Boom's new. He's a rookie. He's coming back. Welcome back, sir. I missed you so much it hurts. But
missed you too. Well, but I think my first question.
That's my favorite response to put on your Facebook wall, because most of your friends are not fucking crazy wrestling fans. So out of nowhere, it's like, I miss you so much it hurts. And Boom Boom's Alabama friends are like, Boom Boom, you want to explain something? But we always ask win, loss, or tie, what you thought about it. I think there's going to be some mixed feelings, but I think you've been gone through some really bad Raws. I think this might get... Well, what did you think? You're back. Welcome home. What do you think? Win, loss, or tie?
Well, let's see. For the first hour, I thought was a pretty good hour of television. They had very compelling characters. The plot is growing quite nicely. I'm intrigued. I want to watch a little bit more. They had left just enough to want me to come back next week. Wait a minute. We're talking about Gotham, right? I'm sorry. Okay.
Hook, line, and sinker. I fell for that. I was like, all right. Boom, boom. I miss your wittiness.
To be honest,
Raw. Monday Night Raw. It's a Monday Night Raw review. It's not a Gotham review. It's not an Arrow review. It's a Monday Night Raw review, son of a bitch. What do you got?
Well, from what I watched, because I'm not going to lie, I skipped the first hour.
That was the best hour.
My future wife, when we were in the extended stay motel, just didn't want to sit and watch, 3 hours of wrestling. So she's like, well, can we just check out this Gotham show? And I'm like, all right. And I watched it. And I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. So now I'm actually watching, like, for the first hour that Raw's on, I'm watching Gotham, and then I flip over. So when I flipped over, I started with the second hour with the Randy Orton-Dolph Ziggler match and watched the rest of the way there. And from what I saw, I'm going to give it a weak tie. A really weak tie.
Wow. That's what you get. You take about 4 weeks off. This is as good as it gets, sweetheart. You should have seen the last week and the week before. If you think this is a weak tie, I'm sorry to tell you, dude. This is as good as it gets for WWE, man. You know what? I almost want to give it a tie, but now that I made fun of you, I have to give it a win. No, I'm gonna give it a win. Not all the booking was in my favor, but there was actually pro wrestling. I watched Bound for Glory live. I saw the New Japan big event, and I went from 2 Japanese wrestling type shows to dun 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 dun. Look, it's sports entertainment. Dun 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 dun, and I was expecting something horrible. I was like, I've been up for 48 straight fucking hours watching pro wrestling. This better be good. And that's how I went in. I was like, not too shabby. Not too shabby. Like, I wanted to hate it. And granted, they wanted me to hate it because they really ruined a lot of my favorite guys. They're like, oh, you like Dolph Ziggler? Fuck you. You like the Usos? Go fuck yourself. So, the bookings were not in my favor, but I think you have 4 weeks to be like, you know what? This ain't that good of a show. I had to watch all these fucking shows, okay? Well, you were gone, fucking with your wife, future wife, your new home, your career. I was stuck here watching Monday Night Raw. And you know what? It used to be worse. It used to be worse. So with that, I give it a slight win.
Give it a slight win, for at least for WWE standards. That's
please put in the comments win, loss, or tie, and maybe we'll do a New Japan podcast later. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about getting off my ass and start doing a New Japan podcast. All right, so we got the win, loss, tie out of the way. Please put in the comments. We will try to go to live comments as much as we can. We have a couple Facebook questions already. All right.
All right, now I will say this. From what I did watch, I did notice that a lot of these matches were longer than normal. We had multiple matches go well past the 10-minute mark, which for WWE is an accomplishment because, I mean, remember, these guys were doing 3- and 4-minute matches. Now these guys were doing 14-, 15-minute matches. So I will give WWE props for doing that. The matches that needed to be short were short. The matches that could have went longer did. So I'll give them props for that. Now, Dave, as I said at the top of the show here, I did miss the first hour. So I
did Batman save the day? I haven't watched golf. I haven't watched any of the new shows yet.
Oh, you haven't watched any of the new shows yet? You didn't watch? Okay.
Is Batman still whooping some ass? I mean, an indie wrestler named Shane Swift, Florida Cruiserweight ACW champion at one time. We were at Denny's after the show, and we're all eating Denny's, and we're like, dude, how awesome is Smallville? I'm like, oh, it's pretty cool. And he goes, imagine if there was a show about Batman before he was Batman. And we all made fun of him. Like, what, is he going to go get a fucking butler? Oh, today I want some Grey Poupon. And we made fun of him. And then, like, 10, 20 years later, the show becomes a reality. And I'm like, man, Shane Swift, whoever you are, I'm sorry. We probably fucking made fun of your billion-dollar idea. Isn't it bad? I mean, what the fuck can Batman do? He's a little fucking kid, and you're like, oh, can I have some Grey Poupon? I'm so fucking rich.
Well, now, Dave, last time I told you to watch a television show, it was Arrow, so I like to say at least I got that going for me.
It's true. I don't watch much television, but I do love the superheroes.
So, but now Gotham is basically, it's Gotham. The whole setting is the city. The main character is Jim Gordon before he became the commissioner. This is right when he started with the police department. And the whole show is about how everybody...
Boom. So is it a win, loss, or tie? People are starting to get angry that we're talking Batman.
For Gotham, yeah, that's a win.
All right, let's break down Raw before the Internet Infantry riots. Like, what is this, Batman AM? You know what? Fuck you. No, I'm sorry. That was a little out of line. Let's break down Monday Night Raw.
All right, for the first hour here, we had a little bit of an impromptu tag team match. We had John Cena and Dean Ambrose taking on the tag team champions, the Road Brothers, taking on the former champions, the Usos, in a 3-team tag match. This match itself ran just over 14 and a half minutes. Cena and Ambrose, they won the match by hitting their respective finishing maneuvers on each of the Rhodes brothers and got the win. There was a stipulation put down here. I guess the whole thing for the match was coming up at Hell in a Cell, only one of them could get Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell, so they came up with a deal where later on in the night, John Cena and Dean Ambrose would face each other one-on-one in a contract on a pole match. The winner would get to face Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell. The loser would go on to face Randy Orton. So that was kind of the theme for the show.
Hold on. I just got to cut you off. How fucking shitty is it to be Randy Orton? The winner gets to go against this guy. The loser, yeah, you just get fucking Randy Orton. Okay, there you go. Good luck. Good luck with that shit. I don't know why. Granted, okay, maybe you could book the storyline, you know, where like behind the scenes. All right, whoever goes against Rollins, the other one will go against Orton. You know, maybe like behind the scenes you could say that, but when it's actually part of your storyline, and I hate Randy Orton, I really do. But with that said, how fucking bad do you feel for Randy Orton? What the fuck's his promo gonna be? You really didn't want to fight me, but I guess it's gotta happen. Super Slam, or whatever fucking next pay-per-view is. What a shitty fucking storyline. Hey, you know how in the Olympics you win the gold, silver, bronze? Fourth place gets Randy Orton. He just comes over like, hey, how you doing? I'm Randy Orton.
The only thing I didn't like about this is the fact that you had the tag team champions take the pin in this one. I know that they don't want to have good guy on good guy, but dude, you didn't. I mean, you needed, if you're going to have, you know, Cena and Ambrose win anyway, go ahead, just bring out like Ryback or something, or bring out Slater Gator, bring out just somebody else, another bad guy tag team to take the ball. If you're going to do it right.
I fucking, I don't know, like, it was good wrestling, but everyone I fucking hated was winning and doing a good job, so it was like so confusing. But yeah, they definitely, without a fucking doubt, they should have not put the tag team champs there. It's always like the tag team champs, Intercontinental champs, the U.S. champ, and a champion that can actually wrestle. Like, if you're a champion that only shows up once a year, you're not going to put people over. But if you're a champion who can wrestle and wrestle every week, it's your job to put people over. I get so angry about the lack of respect they have for the tag team titles. But, you know, tag team division is now officially a fucking joke. It's a joke. And I just fucking... you know what, though? You know what? Yeah, anyone ever been a teacher, and you have a really bad student, and you're like, holy shit, he got every single question wrong, but he spelt his name right. And then you go to another teacher and be like, yeah, but last week he didn't even spell his name right. That's what I feel like for the tag team division. It's like, it's fucking complete goddamn garbage because you don't give a shit about it, but at least they're not fucking having both tag team champs lose to John Cena at once. At least it was another team. At least John Cena had a partner this time. So way to go, WWE. You failed. Excuse me, open letter to WWE writers. Dear WWE writers, congratulations. You have failed the tag team division again. You have failed this division. And you know what, though? You didn't eat glue during the meeting. You did spell your name wrong, but, you know, that is a difficult name to spell. What the fuck is wrong with you people? The fuck is wrong with you? You couldn't tell that story without fucking destroying your tag team division? You couldn't fucking do that? The same thing with The Rock last week. Oh, by the way, The Rock returned last week. It's the same fucking thing with The Rock last week. Why the fuck do you have to destroy young, hard-working, talented people, you fucking cocksmokers? Anyway, the match was kind of exciting. Just, you know what? John Cena wins. That's horrible. The tag team division, the tag team titles are used as shit paper. Vince McMahon's like, I don't fucking wipe my ass with anything but giant fucking tag team titles. Besides that, it was a pretty exciting, fun, fast-paced match for WWE standards.
Well, you know, I don't get some of their booking. I mean, I can understand, like, look, you need to make both Cena and Ambrose look strong, but I don't think you need to do that at the expense of a champion. And unfortunately, these weren't the only champions to take a fall. We'll get to that later. Next year, we had the Divas champion AJ teaming up with Layla to take on Paige and Alicia Fox. Mercifully, this one was short. This went just under 2 minutes. AJ got out of Alicia Fox's submission maneuver and then hit her with the Shining Wizard, got the win. I know that one of the things they've been talking about on here, they were talking about teasing some sexual tension between Paige and AJ, and it's good to see WWE finally got my script. I gotta, I said that.
Your fan fiction. Go to Boom Boom's wrestling site, fanfiction.net. All right.
There we go. But I don't know what it is. What is it about WWE that's making me uninterested in this feud? I mean, I really like AJ. I really like Paige. You think I would be all about this feud, but now it's just become about, okay, we don't like each other. Okay, that's a normal wrestling formula. Okay, now we're going to keep bringing all these other women into it, and we're not going to have a payoff. So, I mean, leave it to WWE. Could fuck up a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. What goes on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Well, there's bread, then there's peanut butter, then there's jelly. Now, WWE, by this standard, would be like, well, we need to jazz it up a little bit. Let's just put raw, whole peanuts on it. And instead of jelly, how about we take, like, grapes, actual grapes, and just crush them up and throw them on the bread? And to kind of jazz it up a little bit, how about instead of bread, we use, like, croutons? So we, like, make, like, a little bed of croutons, and then we mix it all together. And then just to give it a little, extra something, how about we sprinkle just a little bit of chocolate syrup on top of it? Because kids like sweet stuff, right? There you go. And I feel like that's what WWE's doing with this. It should be AJ, Paige, we don't like each other, there's a title involved, put us in the ring and let them go.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder, like, Gail Kim, Shimmer, outside of Gail Kim and Shimmer, are there any real female American pro wrestlers? I've just been depressed about the women's wrestling scene. AJ Lee and Paige are great wrestlers, but at the same time, it's just like, it's not working. It's just not working. And I feel bad for them, because Paige on the Independence was amazing. Paige in the FCW was amazing. AJ Lee's had some great matches. I don't know. I want it too, because they just keep shoving it down our throats. And maybe it's because they don't have enough opponents. I don't know what the situation is, but I look at it and I'm like, this should be good, and it's not. There you go.
It was like when TNA did a main event where it was AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe versus Christopher Daniels, and I'm like, I don't care. You've taken all the fun out of it. I mean, this would have been awesome like 10 years ago.
You're talking about recently, right?
Yeah, this was recently.
September 11th one.
It was like,
September 11th pay-per-view back in the day. That was like the greatest match in TNA history. Are you talking about? Are we talking? Because hold on. Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles match that year on September 11th on the pay-per-view. That was like one of the best pay-per-view matches of all time. Are you talking about that match, or more recently in the Dixie Carter era?
It was in the Dixie Carter era. It was just a match where we were just like, whatever.
Yeah, I guess they go to the well one too many times. So, I don't know. I want to like it. I just don't. I don't know. So, there we go. All right, it's Divas Match, so let's go some live comments here, just really quick. Okay. Wrestling Rantin will be doing a run-in later. Javier Olamos, I want to see the Wyatts on singles. Harper and Rowan look like a huge deal. I don't know how you feel about this. I just don't give a shit about the Wyatts. I know Wrestling Rantin later will probably disagree with me, but I just don't. You did this awesome storyline, then you lost to John Cena 800 times in a row. Then you're doing an awesome story. What the fuck's the point? Just fucking go home. I'm done. Now, they can turn it around, but, like, I got to the point, like, back in the day, pre-Cena, I remember back in the day, I would, like, it was must-watch Bray Wyatt promos. And, like, I'd be like, oh, no, it's fucked up, but, yeah, it's cool. Now, like, yeah, I don't give a shit. What are you going to say? Oh, my mommy never loved me. Dun, 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 dun. 1, 2, 3. Oh, the man is 1, 2, 3. Like, what the fuck are you going to say, Wyatt? I don't give a shit. Maybe I'm in the minority here, but yeah, no, it's over. You were supposed to be the hero. This reminds me, like, remember, come with me. It's grandpa time, and I'm sure everyone's had this. Do you remember when everyone in your local town, because everyone has a local bully, and there's just this fucking bully, and he's an asshole. He makes people buy guitars. He fucking steals your money. He's just a dick, but no one does anything. You know what I'm saying? Because he's the local bully. Someone comes up and goes, you know what? Fuck the local bully. I'm going to go whoop that local bully's ass. And you're like, fuck yeah, Bray Wyatt, go whoop the bully's ass. And the bully knocks him the fuck out. You know that shitty feeling after that happens? That's the Wyatt feeling I have. Like, you know, granted, did he talk shit? Did he step up to the bully? Yeah, that's great. Little Coco's like, yeah, go beat that bully's ass. He stole my sneakers. It feels good, doesn't it? But when the bully knocks you the fuck out, and the next day he's like, hey, guess what? I'm going to, fuck you. Fuck you. You didn't get my sneakers back, and fucking John Cena's dun 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 dun, bullying more goddamn people. Fuck you, Bray Wyatt. Fuck you. Fuck bullying. Be a star, you fucking cockhomers. Anyway, I don't know. I just get mad. It's over. What are you going to say? Oh, pregnant woman, spooky. We're fucking different. Fuck you. You're not different. You look at the fucking lights to dun 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 like everyone else. All right. Julie Harrison, ladies and gents, that's right. Jules and Jason the Rex are here to give the other side view of the show. It's a win to the massive smart-ass move by Ambrose, and wow, did Orton finally show he has a set of balls. And this is Jules, boobs. I missed your sexy face. Love you both. You know what? I feel like a fucking dirty, disgusting puppy. You know, like everyone loves puppies, but no one wants to adopt the fucking ugly one. I understand. Well, way to go, boobs. Boobs, I might bring the fan art, but you bring the ladies. Mr. The King says, no mercy. Slight tie because no Adam Rose. Javier, when does Sandow get back into action? He's been over lately. I know, and there's some fucking cocksucking writer that's like, it's because of me! No, it's because we're fucking tired of your shit and he's actually a good wrestler. And then Ralph Morales answers him and says, don't worry, WWE will ruin his momentum. Oh, trust me, they're on that already. Mr. The King says, it's stupid because Ambrose had to win. Now if only WWE had the same state of mind with Bray Wyatt. Well, Bray Wyatt's the bully who got knocked out. You know, you got to give him credit. He was cool. He was cool for about a week. But then when fucking knocked him the fuck out multiple times, he ain't fucking respecting that guy. I want to see the why. Oh, we already read that one. Welcome back, Boom Boom. 24/7 Coco Sports. DK, we ready? Yeah, we did a Bound for Glory review, and we're like, stop broadcast, and YouTube wouldn't let us go home. Like, there's like 20 minutes at the end of our review, we're like, stop broadcast, and like, we cannot stop broadcast. Like, okay. I never watched Raw tonight, just in case it was going to be another 3 hours of hot garbage. Was TNA Bound for Glory in Japan at least better than Raw? If you like pro wrestling, Bound for Glory was better. If you like, wow, there's a lot of people in the building and it sure is shiny, then no, Raw was better. So it really just depends on what type of fan you are. I did not know until I got a lot of feedback from Bound for Glory that you fuckers, not you, but a lot of fuckers really care about how shiny it is. I guess we have to put some fake graphics down here and shine up our shit. Look at that, we're shiny. So yeah, it's bright colors and shiny. But no, I prefer TNA Bound for Glory if they were going head-to-head. Shine Champion, oh great, I'm going to mispronounce this. Lavalise is fucking beautiful and is killer in the ring. TNA, WWE dropped the ball on her. Dude, WWE and TNA dropped the ball on so many people. It's not even funny. The Raw was a bigger improvement wrestling-wise. Yeah, I agree with that. This is from Aaron Barnes. The Raw was a bigger improvement wrestling-wise. I wonder if they will later on tease Orton and Rollins' feud as breaking the authority angle up. Possibility. David Stillwell says, I also missed the first hour. I give it a weak win. It was enjoyable, but predictable. But I hate contract on the pole matches because they just seem too easy to win. And when the authority came out and predicted it, interference, like what happened. And lastly, is anyone sick of Cena versus Orton? Because Obviously, WWE isn't. No way, baby! Yes. You know what? I was sick of it when... This is when I was sick of John Cena versus Randy Orton. All right, let me describe the moment. John Cena runs down to the ring, and Kurt Angle says, "And why should I wrestle you?" or something along those lines, or what do you have that, whatever. And he goes, "Ruthless aggression," and slaps Kurt Angle. That very moment, I was tired of Randy Orton versus John Cena. I was done with it. I don't know if I was really good at describing that. That was John Cena's first match. I hate John Cena. I hated him in fucking Ohio Valley, stupid robot motherfucker. Macaca Rock! Welcome back, Macaca Rock! I don't know if we're ever going to do your Hogan versus Cena feud, because I think Rob got a real job, and Rob is not exactly in love with John Cena. I finally catch you guys live. Woohoo! Start these reviews earlier next time so I can chat with you live. It's fun. Alright, we're going to have to try to do that, Macaca Rock. We'll get to Twitter and Facebook later, but let's get back on track. Please keep your live comments coming via Twitter @Coco Sports, via YouTube, even to Google+. Anyway, Facebook, just reach me. Call me up. I don't have a phone, but, text message me, smoke signals, whatever. Booms! Let's get back on track.
All right, let's get him back on track here. Next, we had the Intercontinental Champion Dolph Ziggler versus Randy Orton in a non-title match. This match itself, I feel like the crowd was just kind of dead in the beginning, but at the end they started to pick up a little bit. Ziggler, just selling like a motherfucker for this one, and I'm thinking, there's no way. I already predicted bad things. You had Cesaro at ringside doing commentary. You're talking about their upcoming match, and then you had Randy Orton. They're talking about, well, the loser's going to have to face him. And I'm like, I know, it's like, this doesn't make sense to me. Neither one of these guys can afford to lose going into a pay-per-view, because you've got Dolph Ziggler going to have to defend his championship, and you're going to have Randy Orton.
Hold on. Not so fast, my fellow friend. You're making the mistake of thinking a title means something. Go on.
Yes.
Is that it? I'm sorry. I thought they had more.
All right. And then
we gotta get our sway back, Boom Boom. We're like on a dance floor. We're not as smooth as we used to be. Come on, baby. Let's smooth this out. Boom's like, I should be watching Gotham. Go ahead.
So anyway, I watched this, and then I watched Ziggler take the fall with that vicious RKO, like a reverse electric chair. Orton tossed up Ziggler and hit him with the RKO. And then he took the loss. And to me, I think that was just a dumb decision. Of all the people you could have had to have Randy Orton look strong, they got to pick a champion and a guy that they're trying to say, ooh, he's going to be defending his belt. You should buy the pay-per-view to see if he can do it. Doesn't make any sense to me, Dave.
Yeah, you know what? I hate Randy Orton. I hate Randy Orton with all my heart. I hate Dolph Ziggler. Not so fast. I love Dolph Ziggler. I was confused for a second. Hate Randy Orton. Love Dolph Ziggler. Hate how they just make the title seem absolutely worthless all the time, which is such bullshit. But to me, with all this hate and my love for Dolph Ziggler, I kind of was, and I want to stress how much I hate Randy Orton. I hate Randy Orton. Matter of fact, I think I ripped into Randy Orton during last night's podcast. I hate Randy Orton more than fucking anything in the world, And I have to be honest. I don't know if it's Dolph carrying him or he stepped up his game. That was a pretty goddamn good match. It was a good wrestling match for WWE standards, and it was someone I hate busting their ass. And on top of that, you ready for the worst news? You thought Randy Orton being Intercontinental Champ was worse? Booms, are you sitting down? I can actually see you sitting down, but it feels awkward. Randy Orton's our Coco Sports Internet champion now.
Ouch.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. It hurts so goddamn bad. Well, you know what? We had a good run of champions. What did you think of the match? Is it a great match from someone you absolutely hate who usually mails it in?
I hate Orton. I like Ziggler, but I'm just like, what can you do? to me, that just doesn't make any damn sense. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. I can't wrap my hands or my head around why you would want to do that.
Yeah. It's absolutely crazy. Brandon was there live, Brandon from the Internet Infantry, and he said that when it went off the air, John Cena gave respect to Dean Ambrose. So I guess that's kind of cool.
Oh,
so
yeah, that
just
is.
A little off-the-air stuff. Appreciate it. Anyone in the Internet Infantry that went there live. Oh, hopefully you had fun. I thought for WWE standards, it was a great wrestling card. Now, the bookings were definitely not in my favor, but yeah, it feels weird that we have to say Randy Orton's a good match. I don't know. I want to apologize. I feel like we've let our vision of pure hatred for Randy Orton and John Cena down. All right, let's go. Andy Papp says, thanks, David Booms. No problem, dude. This is what we do.
No problem. That's what we're here for.
Thank you. Let's strip him of the championship. Andy Paps, we can only strip him of the championship if he wins the actual title. There's rules and regulations to the Coco Sports Internet title. We just can't make this up as we go along. All right, Booms. You want to do live comments, or you want to go to next segment?
Let's do the next segment here, because I should note in that match that Seth Rollins came out, and then after Randy Orton had won, he did the curb stomp on Ziggler, because that's really going to help him out. Well, they immediately went to the next match, which was Seth Rollins versus Jack Swagger, which was actually a pretty decent match. I was happy to see that Jack Swagger actually hit the Swagger bomb for like the first time in the past 6 months. Randy Orton came out. Match went. I think it was about even, and they kind of teased Rollins and Orton getting into it, but that didn't happen. And eventually, you had Rollins get the cheap win with the roll up with a handful of tights, got the win. But all in all, I did like the match. So, and I liked the way that it ended. Yeah, Swagger lost, but he didn't look like a bitch, which is more than I can say for what happened with Dolph Ziggler. So,
we've got to mention the curb stomp.
The guy who has the championship belt not only loses, but gets made to look like a bitch. The guy who's kind of been on a losing streak for a good chunk of the year, he loses, but he gets the out. Well, the other guy cheated,
Yeah.
Then they just switched opponents, and everything would have made sense. Everything would have worked, because if Orton destroys Swagger, nobody, it's not that catastrophic.
I don't think no one watches it.
and then if you have Ziggler lose to Rollins, Mr. Money in the Bank beats the Intercontinental Champion, but he cheats. Okay, yeah, he beat, but he cheated, and he doesn't look as bad.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I forgot to mention the curb stomp at the end. Seth Rollins curb stomps Dolph Ziggler. I'm starting to think Rollins might be in the D Club, but he's way too good of a wrestler to be in the D Club. But he's skirting there. It just sucks because everyone that's building momentum, they kill. Even though it was a great wrestling show, it seems like if you're getting momentum built up, they destroy it. And I don't understand that. I don't understand destroying someone's momentum on free television. I don't understand, I don't know. I'm confused. Maybe I'm fucking punched in the head too much. Maybe I watch too much Japan wrestling. Maybe I watch too much indie wrestling. I did book a lot of independent wrestling, but hear me out. Why not build as many people as you can, and then once they're at a top-tier level, try to sell a lot of pay-per-views and tickets? It just seems like, we have 5 guys, they're going to destroy everyone. I'm getting momentum. No, you're not. I'm getting momentum. No, you're not. I just don't get it. If you went, who is young and who is getting over with the crowd? Fuck them. Let's show them a thing or two. I don't know. I would like to say it's a glass ceiling, but it's more of, my son's favorite game is the alligator game. He calls it wani because it's Japanese, do-do-do-do-do, and you hit it with a hammer, do-do-do-do-do. That's what WWE Creative is. It's like, what? Jack Swagger getting over? No, you're not. You're getting over? No, you're not. So, yeah, it's like what is it called? Whack-A-Gator in English? I don't know. But you know the game I'm talking about? You got a little foam hammer and you got to smash the alligators. My 2-year-old son absolutely loves that shit. I'm pretty sure that's what WWE Creative is. Jack Swagger's getting over, Rusev's getting over, and just Triple H with his hammer. Gong, 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 gong. I have John Cena versus Randy Orton. And the best part is now, because they failed to entertain us, now they're like, well, not enough people bought the network. Granted, the product was absolutely garbage. Now we're going to put ads on it. And then they're like, well, which one do you want? WWE is such a political fucking, just a PC, PR type fucking company. They're like, here's the question. Well, which one would you want? To raise the price of the WWE network or us to have ads? Because ads are coming to the WWE network. Which one would you rather have? There's never, well, could we have a good product where we'd feel great paying the $9.99 and pitch it to our friends and fucking be excited for a product that we could pay for? No, that's not an option. All right. Thank you. I look forward to my MasterCard ads on WWE Network. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, Boobs. You're a little rusty. You got to get me back on track.
All right, getting back on track here. Next was like the huge build-up to the Big Show Rusev match. They spent like a whole segment, talking about Columbus Day, talking about the Atlanta Braves, talking about Native Americans, insults, and then they went back to the commercial break, and they finally come back, and then they decide to start the match. Anyway, go ahead.
No. I just want your opinion because you're a more gun-ho America. You're in America. Mm-hmm. I think the Native American jokes, I was shocked that was the response. Like, they're like, on Columbus Day, and they're using history and facts to make America look bad. And Atlanta's response is, let's do the chop. So a bunch of fucking white people, a bunch of Americans are like, you know what? The Columbus Day, Native Americans? Oh, bad part of our history? I know. Oh, like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? The fuck? I don't know. I've been out of America so long. I'm just like, what? I must be a foreigner. I don't fucking get it. But there is a question we got from Twitter that is about this. It booms. I think it's right up your alley. At K1LLAK1N9. He asked us and Wrestle and Rantin, he might be on later, they should just stop the angle as a whole. And he's talking about the Rusev angle. I would not mess with war scenarios as entertainment. Booms, you work in news. I figured I'd give you the big difficult question. What's your call on maybe, I don't know if it's a war scenario. I think it's more, I guess it could be later down the line, but, they've done this before. Well, what's your thoughts on possibly doing political stuff, I guess?
I guess, there could be some room for it. I think if they were going to drop it, they should have dropped it after the Malaysian airliner was shot down, but obviously, since they didn't do that, I don't think it's going to happen. And they're going to keep, they're getting some heat off of it. They're getting some buzz. They've got fans booing the hell out of Rusev. To her, Lana, to her credit, is just fucking heat magnet. When she she's acknowledging the crowd. She's screaming at people to shut up. And then just running the USA on the ground. It gets more people into it. I think, without that, what is he? What is Rusev then? He's just, okay, he's a big monster who beats people, and as you've put it before, Dave, I've been there, done that. Now the political angle, yeah, it's a little bit of a cheap pop to bring out, the USA. This is like a flashback to the 80s, back when, we were, when Nikolai Volkov was singing the Soviet national anthem, but this was a time when the Cold War had pretty much come down next to nothing. We were negotiating with, friendly terms with Mikhail Gorbachev, and so it was just more so of a, to kind of get people, heated up when it really wasn't a big deal. So do I think they need to, stop it? No, I'd say keep it going, because it at least gives it a different, at least makes this angle a little bit different, and you want to see, we're going to do it for America. We're going to do it for America. I mean, come on. It's cheap. It's cheesy. But damn it, I'm starting to love it. So, keep it in. Just don't take it. Just don't take it way too far, and you'll be fine.
I think the only thing I have to agree with this Twitter follower is when you have Be a Star and you're a PG company, it's one of those things, it's like you don't know your audience. As far as Be a Star and PG, that is like a knock on that. It's like, you're full of shit. Look at you. You're full of shit. But we've always said that. Booms will tell you, because he's read a couple of my scripts and seen a couple of my wrestling shows. No, I'd push it even farther. Like, if it was up to me, there would be probably riots in his stands. I just believe stuff like that, you should push the envelope. I would push the envelope so effing far. I'm writing a book now, and I'm dealing with a Japanese manga company, and hopefully they'll make it into a Japanese comic book. And they were like, I'm like, oh, it offends a lot of people. And the guy looked at me and says, the world needs to be offended. So I just have different thoughts. Now, granted, if I wouldn't be like, oh, this is for kids. I wouldn't do that because that's where it becomes wrong. Like, if it's for teens and adults, then yeah. No, push it as far as you can to get a reaction, to get people thinking. Because I guarantee we make fun of Rusev because me and Wrestle and Rantin are huge news junkies, and Boom Boom still works in the news. So we make fun of it just because we're like, dude, there's probably people that are learning about the Russia situation through WWE. I mean, there's probably people that had no idea any of this stuff was going on before Rusev. I think I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I think Rusev should be paid the highest paid guy in the company. He can get anyone over. And I love the fact that he just learned English. Learning a second language is that easy. He's like, I know English. And not only that, but Booms, you've been doing this for a while. Just add in dicks and motherfuckers. Does he not sound like a YouTube troll looking for Raw? Like, you can just picture, like, Rusev at home clicking on a review video and be like, motherfucker, spine, rip out, cock, go. When I see him talk, does he not remind you of a YouTube troll who's confused and doesn't know how to find Monday Night Raw on YouTube? That's what his English reminds me of. And I just wish they could curse, because if he just dropped motherfucker every now and then and cock, that would be 90% of people who can't speak English looking for Raw on YouTube. That would be like almost every YouTube troll out there. Like, I pulled your spine, cock, fuck, motherfuck. Why you talk? Why you talk?
You lie to me. This no Raw.
My favorite is why you talk. Why you talk? Why you all talk? Oh man, I can't understand going to another language being so fucking insulting and fucking not knowing how to speak the language. I'm sorry if that makes me a fucking cock-smoking fucking racist, fucking homophobe, sexist, feminist, whatever word you want to label me. Then go right ahead. I'm just saying, if you don't know the language, you shouldn't be a dick. That's all I'm saying. Or maybe you shouldn't just be a dick in general, but that's asking way too much. At least be a dick in your own language. Can we do that? Can that be the first step to world peace, Booms? What do you think? Don't be a dick unless it's in your own language.
Yeah,
is that a safe?
Great.
I think that's the first step to world peace. We just solved all the world's problems in 1 second. There it is. That should be a T-shirt. Don't be a dick in another language. If you don't know the language, don't be a dick. And when it was 2-on-1 at the very end, first off, I made fun of WWE, but I have to give WWE its props. I think they did a good job of everyone looking strong. But when it was 2-on-1 at the very end, I was screaming for Ivan Koloff and the Russians. I'm like, come on! Ivan, where are you? Drago, anyone, Nikolai, they need you now more than ever. Was I the only one? Dude, how much would you lose your shit if the WCW/NWA Russians came out with a chain?
God.
I would just lose my shit. And I'm saying, people are in their head, they're picturing them in their prime. I'm like, no. Even if they're just old. I don't know. If Hollywood television has taught me anything, even when you're old, you're tough as shit if you're Russian. I mean, if Hollywood television has taught me anything, I can see the Russians from the WCW, NWA area coming out as old men with their chain. Be like, all right, we got you. This is for Mother Russia. I would have lost my shit. But I don't know. Maybe older fans were rooting for that. Did you think that? Are you old enough to be like, yeah, let's go, Ivan. Let's go, Nikolai. Anyone. Even fucking Drago. Now that would be a celebrity appearance we'd give a shit about. Can you imagine Drago coming down the ring? Granted, he's older and smaller, but still, he just comes down, and I know he has a real name. All right, he's the Punisher. All right, the Punisher as Drago. But yeah, I would have lost my shit. That's the celebrities we need. We don't need. What was the celebrity tonight? Was that a pop singer? I don't know. But I like the way she looked. But we'll get to that later. All right. Live comments or segment? What do you say, Boobs? What do you say? Boobs, are you frozen or are you just like...
No, let's do it. I say let's book it.
All right. Bam. Live comments. Let's see. We'll go to Facebook because Facebook had one for you. All right. Here we go. Jason Rex. Boop, 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 boop. Jason Rex, where's your damn question? All right, I don't know where it is, so I'm going to paraphrase it. If you were going to book this and you had no limits whatsoever, you had Ted Turner money, how would you book this pay-per-view coming up? So just go all out, Boobs. That's what he wants from Facebook. How do you book it?
Say that again. You were breaking up there towards the end.
Sorry, yeah. You have Ted Turner money. Money is no object. You have to book this pay-per-view. How do you book it? What do you do?
Well, there's not enough time for me to turn shit around, to be honest. I mean, there's just 2 weeks. There's only so much I can do with only 2 weeks. You know, I honestly don't know what to do. I mean, yeah, if I want to book the next pay-per-view, yeah, there's plenty of time for me to do that, but 2 weeks out, it's just the only thing I can do is have the current card and just try to tweak it to where people don't walk away fucking hating me.
All right, so there you go. Just try to improve it as best you can. To be completely honest, I just take my money and go home. I'm like, Ted Turner money? I'm out, bitches. There you go. All right, boom. We'll go back to live questions because my computer is acting up. So let's go to the next segment. I apologize to all the live comments out there. I'm trying to get to them, but my computer's acting up. Boom. So let's go to last segment because of technical difficulties. I don't know if it's the last segment. Let's go to the next segment.
I should say that Rusev did win that match via disqualification. Mark Henry came down, tried to fire up the Big Show. Rusev got up, hit Mark Henry, put Big Show back in the Accolade. Mark Henry went in, hit him, caused a disqualification. Rusev started celebrating, but then Mark Henry and Big Show went to opposite sides of the ring, trapped Rusev and then knocked him the fuck out. All right, next year oh God. Yeah, that was my reaction to it. Sheamus versus The Miz in a non-title match. Oh, guess what happened, Dave?
A non-title match?
Yeah.
Are you sure this is WWE? I didn't believe it.
Absolutely. Guess who lost?
The champion or the champion?
The champion lost. Oh, so far, all the champions are 0 for 3. 0 for 3. And you had Miz win via count out. You had Sandow providing the distraction. I will say this, Sandow, that is somebody who's going to have a job because they gave him like a crappy, absolutely bad gimmick.
And he owned it.
Copying everybody, but he finally found his rhythm with The Miz, and I think that's what's going to keep him a job because they gave him crap, and he's making it work. If he didn't, I guarantee he wouldn't have a job by now. They would have let him go. They would have let him go with this last slew of guys, but for the sheer simple fact that he's making this work, I think he's guaranteed employment for a while. I think it's going to take until somebody with creative goes, hey, wait a minute, Damien Sandow's on the roster? How about we get him to do something? Oh, what? We've had him, mirroring The Miz? Oh, okay. That's what's going to happen.
There's I've said this before, but I got to say it again. There's some writer that's like, that was my idea. I got him over. Look at me. Like, shut the fuck up. Sit down. You didn't do shit. All right. All right, we'll go. Man, non-title fucking match. I got nothing, dude. I got nothing. Javier almost says, so WWE is hanging for Ambrose and Rollins till Reigns and Bryan come back. I honestly think they have no idea what they're doing. There's a part of me, and the conspiracy theorist here, this is a wrestling theory. I think they're so mad about the failure of the WWE network that they want to punish wrestling fans. Like, they want to get us to stop watching. They want us to quit. They want to be an entertainment thing. And now, granted, it's a crazy conspiracy theory, but minus this week, even this week, they put on great wrestling matches, but a lot of our favorites went down. I think they see us as the enemy. If they were like, man, if we could just be on the Today Show and bring out all these celebrities, that would be great. It would be great. So, yeah, I don't know. I know it doesn't hold much weight. You know, every good theory, once you start asking questions, falls apart. But, you know, just like any good theory, you got to believe your heart. I think they want to punish us passionate fans for not buying their shitty-ass network. And I would buy the network. I really would. I'm not paying for anything when John Cena's in the main event. Market Garden. Holy shit, it's 4:51 a.m. in the UK. I'm off to sleep. Good night, Market Garden. Good night. Wooly Mack has been released. Oh, this sucks, Booms. I don't know if you've read the news yet, but Wooly Mack has been released before he even got his feet wet in the NXT WWE. WWE has dropped the ball on Wooly Mack due to the results of the medical and physical test. Back to CWF Hollywood and Pro Wrestling Guerrilla for Willie. Shake my head.
What do they let him go for?
What's that?
What do they let him go for?
Something about a medical physical test. So, and I hope it's not major because, you know, to fail those tests, it's kind of hard. And, you know, I hope it's not a Nigel McGuinness situation. You know, but I don't know. You know, it's one of those things, when you fail a physical, they keep that shit top secret of why you failed. I know this sounds crazy, but I don't
think they can tell people because of HIPAA laws.
Yeah. So I hope it's not something major. I know, like, I'm putting down my guard, like, pro wrestling, it sucks that this happened, but there's a part of me when you start failing medical and physical tests, and trust me, I failed plenty of them. Yeah, something seriously wrong, or just WWE is being a dick. I don't know, but I hope Willie Mack comes back and is healthy. Do you think that CM Punk should go to TNA? Booms! I've been hogging the spotlight because I'm not used to you being back, and I want to show you love. I feel like I'm hogging the spotlight because I'm not used to you being in the corner. Give me the hot tag. What do you think? There's rumors that TNA offered CM Punk money. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I heard about that too. I just don't know if they'll if they've got the kind of money. And I don't know if Punk would be interested because, I mean, what is he going to do? No, seriously, what is he going to do in TNA? I mean, here's the thing. If you think, okay, well, CM Punk's going to be the guy. CM Punk's going to be the guy who turns around TNA, is going to draw in all the ratings. Well, they said that thing about Sting. They said it about Kurt Angle. They said that about Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff. I mean, they brought Rob Van Dam, Christian. They brought all these guys in, though. This is going to be the guy. This is going to be the guy that takes us over the top. It hasn't happened. What makes you think CM Punk's going to be any different? Yeah, he's got his cult following, but I
we'll
just
follow you anywhere, Punk. CM Punk. Well, there is internet reports that they want to give him the same deal that Hogan got. But is Hogan money any better than WWE money? I'm pretty sure if CM Punk walks in, all things, drama aside, and says, pay me and I'll come back, Vince writes that check. And the reason I think they want CM Punk so much is that this big Chicago network, is it WGN? I could be mistaken. Is WGN the big Chicago network? But if I'm not, I apologize for messing up. But a big Chicago network is a front runner for the Impact time slot for next year. None of this is fact. It's just all rumors. But if you have a Chicago channel, wouldn't CM Punk be huge for that? But the thing is, at the end of the day, I think CM Punk is burnt out, hates pro wrestling, and a lot of people are forgetting about this. You think CM Punk hates WWE? For old school TNA fans, and CM Punk, old school TNA fans, old school CM Punk fans, old school Ring of Honor fans will know this. CM Punk hates TNA a million times worse than WWE. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, but Hogan money does sound nice, but I don't know. I hope it's true, and I believe, Boom Boom's like, oh, well, if they get one more guy, you heard Boom Boom's speech. I'm just going to play devil's advocate. I think with them hurting so much, and them being wrestling-centric, wrestling's being the #1 thing now, legit, because they don't have enough money for WWE stars, even though they're going to pay CM Punk a lot of money. I think maybe that has also to do with the television deal. I think CM Punk and the way they're booking it at Bound for Glory, even though your champ should have showed up, but that's a different story, and New York City, recently I think Impact has been really good. If you have that type of booking with an angry CM Punk, maybe, yeah, I think it does improve. But with that said, I think it's just TNA said, here's tons of money, please come save us. And CM Punk looked down, just like the Watchmen, and said, no. That's what I believe happens. I will shit my pants in pure happiness if CM Punk shows up anywhere. So, there you go. But with that said, I'm not going to stalk him. Have you seen some of these Tumblr pages and internet blogs? Dude, we're nerds, Booms. Yeah, we're nerds, but at the end of the day, we turn it off. You know what I'm saying? Dude, some of these CM Punk fans, I used to always say I'm the biggest CM Punk fan this side of Chicago, and I used to really believe that. But dude, there's people send me stuff, especially on Tumblr. Tumblr's weird. Follow us on Tumblr. We don't have many Tumblr followers, but you're weird. They're like, you're very weird, Tumblr. Please follow us. But yeah, there's just photos of him taking out the trash and shit, and they're sending to me I took a picture of CM Punk. And I'm like, dude, this is fucking weird, bro. I'm a grown man yelling about pro wrestling. I know I'm fucking weird. But when a weirdo like me says you're weird, you might have to pump the brakes. Well, do I want to see CM Punk return? Yes. But I don't need to see photos of him taking out the trash. Go ahead, Booms.
Here's the thing. Okay, I can understand if you were out, let's just say you're out at, Panda Express or something, and CM Punk walks in. Okay, you whip out your phone, take a picture, or ask him to ask for a picture with them. Okay, I can understand that. But if you're actually tracking down his house, staying out there and just waiting for him to come out, and you're snapping pictures of him taking out the trash, walking the dog, washing the car, whatever, okay, you've taken it too far. There are limits. And believe me, this is coming from the CocoSports.com crew here. You're taking it too far. Stop it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's because we used to work in media and used to work in media. I do not find autographs, photos with people, that part of fandom, I don't get. I don't get, when I meet someone that I respect, I shake their hand and be like, oh, thank you for entertaining me. That's about it. Or thank you for what you do, or something along those lines. You know what I mean? Right. But I never understood autographs. I'm the type of guy, I'm a huge T-shirt mark, but if I buy this T-shirt, I'm like, here. And Samoa Joe's like, I want to sign it. I'm like, oh, what's your autograph? You know what I mean? I'm just not an autograph guy. And I'm thinking maybe because in media, that's the ultimate sin. And even asking for photos. I've met every president since Ronald Reagan. I think I only have one photo, and it was with Bill Clinton, and I fucking lost it. I've met every great athlete and every great wrestler through, being lucky enough to be in media. But that's not me. I don't know about you. I know you got a picture with Sandow and AJ Styles, but I'm saying that's because you met them while working. But I don't know. I just don't do stuff like that. Do you have fun doing this stuff like that? I try, but I even feel awkward. Hey, let's take a picture together. This is fucking awkward.
I just ask for it, and if they're like, okay, and I'm like, cool, let's just, you just take one photo and you're done.
What about autographs? Are you a big autograph guy?
Not anymore. When I was a kid, I just never had anything for anybody to autograph, so I felt weird getting the autograph weird random shit. So I kind of like the picture because then I always know who, then you can just hold up a picture. Hey, here's me with AJ Styles. If I, take his autograph on something and put it up, and it's like, okay, whose fucking signature is this? Why do I have this? I can't read this.
I know that, but once you have a signature, I have signatures of pro wrestling guys everywhere because in Japan, you go to buy the shirt, you say, well, thank you, you have a conversation with them, and then they're like, you want me to sign that shirt? And if you say no, you're kind of a dick. So then you're like, can I still wear this shirt? Like, am I allowed to? So it gets weird because then you're also that dick. You're like, oh well. You have a Dragon Gate shirt, or, in case, because, I don't know, people respect pro wrestling autographs as much as, but it's like having a Don Mattingly jersey, and Don Mattingly signed it, and they're like, you're a dick for wearing that. I'm like, I didn't want him to sign it, I just wanted a Don Mattingly jersey. I don't know. Anyway, we got way off topic. Forsaken says, hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. Hey Forsaken, we got to talk, buddy. I'm so sorry, I've been so busy watching pro wrestling. That is true, but sounds horrible when I said it out loud. Boom Boom, great to have you back. Missed you, buddy. Love the place, by the way. Sorry I haven't been active to in a while. You son of a bitch, Forsaken. You're supposed to be a leader. You're supposed to be leading this charge. For any internet infantry doctors with us within the last hour or two, I've finally been able to have to deal with my body tingliness numbness. Been dealing with it since Thursday night. How in the blue hell, what happened to begin with, beyond me. We went to the hospital and got some meds. I guess thus far working. Yeah, you got to be careful, dude. You definitely, tingling and stuff. Because I have nerve damage and I broke my neck and back. And, yeah, you definitely have to get that checked out, dude. Like, I used to be like, I'm never going to go to a doctor. And now my doctors are like, remember when you had an ego and said you never go to doctors? Well, yeah, now your body every now and then goes numb. And sometimes to the extreme goes limp. And you have concussions so bad that we cannot suggest you leave your house for more than 6 hours. So I am the ultimate example of don't be the asshole who says I'm not going to the doctor. I used to always be like, I'm not going. Like, I remember in the Marine Corps, because I shake a lot. I don't know if anyone's noticed this, but, my hands were completely shaken. And they're like, oh, you should see a doctor. I'm like, I'm not going to go see a fucking doctor. And they're like, yeah, that's a sign of, real bad concussion problems. You should probably go see a doctor. But, yeah, hopefully you get it. And can't believe Downtown Dwellers got 5 points in fantasy wrestling as Orin has captured the Coco Sports Internet Championship. I know. Well, we're all aware of the luck of those who've won the championship previously. Take care, everyone. Well, thanks for checking in, Forsaken. We have a lot more comments, but we're trying to break it up with reviews and comments. Trying to get a nice balance. Booms, Forsaken, for real, be safe, though. And thank you for everything you did. And, dude, definitely see a doctor. Definitely see a doctor. You don't want to be like me. I have to to go to Bound for Glory. I have to actually go to my doctor and ask permission. So you don't want to live a life like that, brother. Yeah, fuck numbness. Anyway, Booms, back on track, sir. Hot tag team.
Back on track here. We got a 6-diva tag match. You had Nikki Bella teaming up with Cameron and Summer Rae to take on Brie Bella, Natalya, and Naomi. Rosa Mendez and Nene Leakes showed up to the outside. This was just your standard generic tag team, 6-women tag match. The only thing of significance that happened was Brie hit Nikki with a facebuster and got the win. So Brie finally got a win over her sister. That to me seemed to be the story of the match. That and they're promoting Total Divas, which yes, the future wife absolutely loves. So we wanted to watch that last night.
Booms. Hold on. The outrage, and we might have 2 people that might host Total Divas show. The outcalling. I kid you not. I'm like, oh, do you want me to do more New Japan shows? Do you want me to do more Dragon Gate shows? I try to throw out feelers. They want us to do a Total Divas review show. They want us to do a Total Divas review
show. Come on, Dave. You missed a good one. I mean, Rosa wound up going on a date with a member of the Cleveland Browns.
Just stop. Let's go to live comments. I can't deal with it.
You're not going to believe. Rosa's about to get upset at Summer Rae because Summer Rae turned around and called the same guy and went on a date with him after he went on a date with Rosa.
Let's go to live comments. Market Garden says, so when Cena wins at the pay-per-view, he's the internet champ. Market Garden, I hate to say this, but that's what the rules say. And John Cena has already won it. I think he'll be the most, because I know Daniel Bryan's won it twice. I know Bray Wyatt's won it a bunch. Dolph Ziggler's won it twice. But I think John Cena will be, if he wins at the pay-per-view, he will be internet champ, and he'll probably have the most internet champs this year. So, yeah, we're not proud. We're not proud. We might have to change the rule next year, because we're still doing fantasy wrestling, and next year, dude, there's so many cool rules Forsaken's coming up with. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to be more active with trades and free agents and all that. But, yeah, as far as our internet champ goes in fantasy sports, yeah, John Cena could win if he wins at the pay-per-view. I'm sorry, Market Garden. Life's just not fair. Okay. David Stillwell says the only time a disqualification should happen is to help a champion lose without losing momentum. Why didn't WWE do that instead of letting champions take the falls tonight? You know, David Stillwell, give yourself 100 points of Barry Horowitz, and you hit a home run with your points, sir. You're absolutely right. Booms, do you want to add anything to Mr. Stillwell's greatness of his comment?
I can't add any more to it. That's already been added. That's great.
We got 5 more comments, Booms, and there's a word I probably can't pronounce, so that's going to be fun on the 5th comment. So how many comments do we have? 5. All right. Random thought. Is it me, or does this all remind you of Steve Blackman?
No, he does not.
Don't see it. I don't see it. I'm sorry, Aaron Barnes. I don't see it. But Kakarot! They really need to let Seth Rollins use his Phoenix Splash again. I really want to see Phoenix Splash versus Red Arrow feud. But Kakarot, what, dude? Why is the Internet Inventory comment so much way cooler than Raw? That's awesome, Kakarot. Kevin Buchanan, thank you for the comment. Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. That's the way it should have been all along. And Cena versus Orton, not worth seeing countless times before. And I definitely agree with that. Yeah, I don't know. John Cena. Ambrose and Rollins are over in favor. Oh, this is from Market Garden. Ambrose and Rollins are over in favor with the WWE bosses, apparently. How does that fit in with the D Club? Is Triple H changing the rules? I don't know, because I think we have to kick Sheamus out of D Club. We might have to have an all D Club meeting. Who's in, who's out? Because there's been talks about Sheamus going, and now Rollins. But I don't know. It's going to be crazy. And last comment, I'm going to send this to you because I can't even send it. It's from Tiffany Nicole. Booms, you're good at reading a teleprompter. How do you pronounce that word correctly? Because I'm white trash New Jersey. We see you, Wrestling Rantin.
Yeah.
Wrestling Rantin does a run-in. Welcome, Wrestling Rantin. All right, what did Tiffany Nicole say?
Tiffany Nicole, for reading the same one I'm reading, she says, do a PWG review.
Oh, that's a possibility. Yeah, we definitely have to do more. No, that wasn't the comment I said.
Okay, her other comment is, Dean Ambrose's wrestling style is not appealing to me. Do you think there's something awkward about his character? No, Tiffany, I actually think he's got a very good character. I think the amazing part is he's kind of like a natural heel, a natural bad guy, and I thought, okay, there's going to be no way he can, be a face and still kind of keep credibility. No, he's actually done a pretty good job. Ambrose is that good. You can pretty much give him anything and he can run with it. I mean, he's very good at thinking on his feet. He's done a pretty good transition and transitioning to WWE's wrestling style. In fact, I think he had an amazing main event with John Cena tonight. So, no, I don't think it's awkward at all. I really like his wrestling style. I thoroughly enjoy it. So, no, I don't think it's weird.
All right, Booms. While you were gone, I had a little affair. That affair was with Wrestling Rantin.
What's up?
I feel like my wife has just met my mission. You see, what happened was, Wrestling Rantin, welcome to Coco Sports. What are you doing? It sounds like you got a chipmunk eating your microphone cord.
Is it? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but it's like someone keeps tapping. I don't know. Do you hear that, Boom Boom?
Oh, yeah, I hear it.
Yeah. You want to hang up and call back? You're like, welcome to the show. Please hang up and call back.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let me hang up. I'll give you guys a call right back.
All right, cool deal. All right. While we wait for him, we'll go to some live comments. Booms, while you were away. I was lonely. Booms. You didn't understand what it was like to review Raw without you. Tiffany Cole says, win. I don't know why. I like Sandow so much. Can't wait for the Miz Sandow feud. Market Garden says, if reality and money were no object, I'd book the next pay-per-view with Heyman coming out to play. Sorry, I got bad eyes. Basically mocked the so-called main eventers with Brock Lesnar. After he makes everyone look like idiots, Daniel Bryan raises from the grave to come out and remind the world he's never lost the belt before knocking out Brock in a flying knee through a glass table that's on fire. I love how, like, in the beginning, you're like, this is awesome. And then he's just, like, taking it to a whole new level. It's like, what? You like Double Dragon? What about Double Dragon in space? Javier almost says the IC belt will get some main event now that Lesnar's gone till next year. Yeah, that's a crazy situation with them and Lesnar, and I hope so. I honestly think they're just going to have the Shield and John Cena main event, but I hope that the IC title and US title means something. Brian Skelton, the last pay-per-view TNA put on was god-awful. No way Phil could save them. All right. Whoa, Brian is calling him Phil. All right, you guys. I don't know. I liked it, but I was there live. So, I don't know. A lot of people didn't like it. There was mixed feelings about the TNA pay-per-view. Tiffany Nicole says, Dean Ambrose wrestling style is not appealing to me. Do you think there is something awkward about his character? Booms! That is totally your question. You love Dean Ambrose more than a straight man should.
I've already answered my question. You talk about from Tiffany?
Yeah, Dean Ambrose style. Did you already answer that one?
I answered that question like a minute ago.
Well, kids, do not get concussions, get punched in the head, because you'll repeat questions over and over. Today's lesson, if you get punched in the head and your hands shake, please see a doctor.
Dave, step aside. I know you don't have to do this anymore. It's time for me to drive the bus. So let's put this thing into fourth gear. Let's get the main event, and let's answer a few more questions. So keep them coming in. We're gonna go over the main event here, and then we're gonna run it down, run it over, and we're gonna say good night because I gotta go to work tomorrow. Because unlike my co-host, I actually have a real job. So the main event here, it was John Cena versus Dean Ambrose in a contract on a pole match. The winner would go on to face Seth Rollins at the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view. The loser would go on to face Randy Orton. First, they brought out both Cena and Ambrose, and then just when you thought they're about to start the match, out comes the Authority, then out comes Rollins, then out comes Orton, then out comes Kane, and then out comes... God, I'm surprised they didn't bring the Mountie and the Gobbledygooker out at this point. Anyway, they ring the bell, and it's a pretty decent match, and the whole thing is they're they got the Authority there kind of taunting both the guys, like, go ahead, grab the contract, to which Ambrose cold-cocked Randy Orton. John Cena eventually threw Ambrose into the Authority. It led to what you think it would, just this massive fight, 3-on-2 brawl in the ring. Bodies were flying everywhere. Just when you think the bad guys have the upper hand, okay, the good guys get the upper hand, they start throwing guys out of the ring. Eventually, Cena's getting Kane up on his shoulders to hit the attitude adjustment. Meanwhile, Ambrose snuck up to the corner, climbed the turnbuckle, had a hold of the contract. John Cena turns around and realizes that Ambrose has the contract. Ambrose takes a moment to mock. Boom, yanks down. Your winner, and the man going to take on Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell, Dean Ambrose. They were going to tease like a little bit of an altercation. I thought there was going to be some kind of assault in the ring, but no, they wound up. That's how they ended the show. I think it was a pretty good ending. I kind of like this idea of Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell, because I would just steal a line from The Watchmen, since you brought that up, Dave. I would have him say, no, this isn't here. No, this cage isn't keeping the Authority out. You're locked in here with me. That's how I would approach it. Is you can't run, you can't escape. Paybacks are hell, and here we go. That's what I want to see. Now, I thought they were going to do it the other way around, but I'm really glad they did it this way, but the only thing, the sucky thing about this is now we have to see John Cena versus Randy Orton Part 82.
Yep.
think this is the best out of 100 now. I think in this series, but at least it's a match I know I can skip. You know, when it comes time for the pay-per-view and it comes time for this match, I know I can skip it and not feel the least bit guilty about it. So, Wrestling Rantin, since you're our guest, sir, really quick, I want to get your thoughts on the main event and what do you think about this matchup here between Ambrose and Rollins in the Hell in a Cell?
I think somebody kind of realized that the idea of having them in a three-way or the idea of Cena taking on Ambrose or taking on Rollins was going to be a complete cluster. So they gave us what we wanted. They gave me what I wanted. I absolutely am marking out to see Ambrose and Rollins and what the hell they can do with Hell in a Cell. I mean, they did a phenomenal job with a lumberjack match. I can only imagine what they're going to do with Hell in a Cell. But like Boom says, we have to watch frickin' Cena and Randy Orton for time 1 billionth time. But the main event was cool. I like the way they set it up, though, and I like Ambrose giving the "you can't see me" to Cena at the end. That was pretty cool.
What a big timer! You're freaking Rick Rude here. You show up on Wrestling Rantin, and then you come on Coco Sports just in time for the main event.
Exactly.
Freaking Rick Rude, son of a bitch.
I know.
Speaking of Rick Rude, you did a video on Rick Rude. Please go to Wrestling Rantin. We're gonna put it on Coco Sports. He did a great video on Rick Rude. All right. I got a question. I enjoyed this. I really did. But here's my question to both of you. And Boobs, you can go first because it's your comeback show. Do you think we only enjoyed this match or this segment because our guy won? Like, I could picture us, like, I gave it a win. I don't know what Wrestling Rantin gave, win, loss, or tie. Boobs gave it a tie just because this son of a gun hasn't been through the pain we have. But do you think the only reason we see positive is because our guy won? Like, if it was someone else or John Cena winning.
I think it is specifically because Ambrose won the main event. Because, okay, if he loses and John Cena, what are we going to say? Oh, D-Club, dun, dun, dun. Okay, now we get to see the match that nobody wants to see. We don't want to see Cena versus Rollins. We don't want to see Ambrose versus Orton. We want to see Ambrose, Rollins in the cage. We want to see that, you know. And this main event, this win, set that up. If you don't have that, I guess in a way I would understand that to try to break up, you know, Cena versus Orton. But you know what? I will gladly sit through another Cena versus Orton specifically to see Rollins, Ambrose in a cage. So,
hold on, Boobs. I gotta cut you off. Not so fast, my fellow friend.
That's what makes it. That's what makes it happen. If we don't, I mean, it's just business as usual.
Not so fast, my fellow friends.
Oh,
all right, I gave you the first league Corso since you've been back on your vacation. Your big move. Let's be honest. You're not sitting through it. You're gonna do anything but not watch Orton versus Cena. I know if me, you, Jerry, Wrestling Rantin, David Cooey, every member of the Internet Inventory, I know what's gonna happen. That match is gonna come up on our review show, and we're gonna be like, yeah, I didn't watch it. Did you? No. Anyone watch it? Do you hear anyone out on the Internet? Did you watch this match? No one's paying attention to this match. Let's just hope it's the first match so I can sleep in.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. I don't know what you guys think. Or you think they're going to put it on? It's Cena, so they might put it on last. Which I wouldn't. This is the only time I wouldn't mind that, because if Rollins and Ambrose kill it and tear down the house, which they will, why would I even want to watch that match? Put it on last so I can get out early. And watch the Orioles play again. I really don't need to sit through 30 minutes of Cena and Orton. Is this the first time they've been in Hell in a Cell?
Maybe it has. All I know is if it's the last time that these two, if Cena and Orton are the main event, but Kakarot asked us to come on early, I could totally see us just friggin' rocking it. All right, Booms, I got a lot of questions here, but you got to go to bed. How many before you tag out? How many questions you want to do?
Just give me three. Just give me three good ones, and I got to go.
All right. What social network?
Give me one from each.
All right, one from each. All right. Twitter, at K1LLAK1N9. Wow, I thought betting is gambling, but it's a kids show. So yeah, at WWE, they know what they're doing. Be a star. What's your thoughts? Gambling, kids show? I just think WWE lies up being a kids show. We just have to keep busting their balls about it. But you know, you with your 27 kids,
totally
you're the best to answer this.
Because kids totally buy cars, car batteries, and just for men, and take Lipitor or Cialis or whatever the hell it is they're marketing, and watching Chris Lee Knows Best.
All right, now a question from Facebook, Booms. All right, Rusev tags with Crow Cop and brings back the tag team division. Greatest idea or the best idea ever?
I think that's the best idea ever. It is.
All right, and that was from Jason Rex from
managed by Nikita Koloff.
All right, and let's see. Here we go. Bakakarock. Last question for Boom Boom. I'm going to try to keep doing comments, but Booms, you have a real job. Booms, let's speak from the heart here before we go to Bakakarock's question. Is the job better than your last job?
So far, I can't really make a full, honest, an accurate evaluation right now, but so far, yeah, it's a lot better.
All right. How many people have you told that you do wrestling podcasts to do in your real job? Do you just go up and be like, "Hey, how you doing? My name is Boom Boom. My name is Boom Boom, and I host a show on YouTube." Did you bring that up like in a company corporate meeting?
That has not come up. It took me I think I told one person at the last job I was at, and that's because we were both wasted and had just finished up a wrestling show.
Yeah, my /publishers /editors /people who give me career advice are like, "What are you doing? You use your real name." Wrestling Rantin's also a writer, but he was smart enough to just come up with RR Wrestling Rantin. Me, yeah, I'm like, much. Here's my social security number. Here. All right, last question for Boom Boom. And then Boom Boom, we're going to give you the stage, and then you can bow out with class. You don't have to stay for comment time, because you have a real job. Unlike us writers. All right, Bakakarock. If WWE is the equivalent of the Wii U turn, what video game console matches with TNA? Oh, it's a video game question. Right up Boom Boom's alley. You want another question? You want to skip that one?
Yeah, I would like another question because, dude, to kill time.
Oh, what about Julie Harrison? Here you go. Julie Harrison has something special. You have something special. Julie Harrison didn't leave any comments when Boom Boom wasn't here. I don't know if that's factual, Julie Harrison. But you come back and Julie Harrison, you bring in the ladies. I bring in the fan art, you bring in the ladies. All right, Julie Harrison, this is Boom Boom's last comment. CM Punk was part of a shitty TNA version of the Flock. He stole the limelight from Raven, and we fucking love Raven, like Dave does Bo Dallas, but it's true. Yeah, CM Punk and Teddy Hart and rest areas and TNA, it just didn't work out. I think TNA's have to be like, we're a totally different company. I don't know.
Yeah, you know it's bad when Sabu is the one breaking up the fight.
yeah. All right, Booms, the stage is yours. Me and Wrestle Rantin are going to continue with your comments because we don't have real jobs.
Yeah.
I have a real job, I just don't sleep.
Oh, there you go. Well, the reason I'm cutting out is, one, I'm still adjusting to Eastern time because I'm 1 hour ahead of what I'm used to being, so it's messing up my schedule here. But I want to say it's great to be back. I'm glad all our issues on YouTube got resolved. I want to thank everybody for the Internet Infantry for sticking around, everybody for hanging out and sticking with us here. We got the year's almost up. I mean, we got a lot of fun stuff planned, so let's keep trucking along. And in the meantime, you can always check us out 24 hours a day at KocoSports.com. That's KOCOSports.com. It's your home for all combat sports. That includes boxing, mixed martial arts, pro wrestling, amateur wrestling, sumo wrestling, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, judo, taekwondo. If you can get your nose broke doing it, we've got it covered there on that site. We've even got a nice health and wellness section. We've even got the news and gossip section where you can find out anything you want to know about any combat sport, anytime, any hour of the day. You got to be sure to check it out, though, at KocoSports.com. It's where the world goes to kick ass. And with that, Dave, I'm going to bed. Missed you guys. Love you, Internet Infantry. Mwah. I'm out of here.
Oh, good. He's gone. Let's talk bad about him. Oh, he's still here. That's great to have Boo Boo back. All right, Wrestling Rantin, you ready for pure comments? Well, let's say overall show. Do you have something to say about the overall show while I look up comments?
Overall show, I gave it a little bit over a tie, maybe 6.5 out of 10. Mainly because of Ziggler and Orton. I think the Rusev match was better than it had any right to be. And I like the fact that Dean Ambrose won in the end, and we get to see Ambrose and Rollins in the Hell in a Cell. It's a far improvement from what we've been watching the last 2 weeks. So, not that that's much to compare it to, but that's why it's a little bit more than a tie for me.
Yep. All right, and then this is a question earlier. We're going to go to Twitter. Please send us any tweets at Coco Sports. Samoa Joe was following us. It was the greatest moment of my life. Then he unfollowed us. But he might be following us again. But you know what? It was a great day. But anyway, at KEVENOCH, he asked this earlier, but I figured we could talk about it. Those that don't know, 5-second New Japan spoiler. I don't know when you watch a New Japan. Tanahashi beat AJ Styles for the IWGP title. We went absolutely fucking crazy for it, but a lot of people feel this way, and I'm pretty sure I do too. I thought for sure it was going to be AJ Styles Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, and it still might be. I'm just shocked that he won. But he asks, why not Okada? Question mark? I don't know. Maybe you actually know the reason. Have some expertise, Mr. Japan guy at Coco Sports. And Okada has the briefcase, and he's already in the main event. So if Okada's going to win the title, it's going to be at Wrestle Kingdom. And I thought it was going to be AJ Styles, and it still can be. I thought it was going to be AJ Styles versus Okada at Wrestle Kingdom 9. But now Tanahashi wins. That means it's Tanahashi Okada. And people are complaining, like, oh, it's just like John Cena, Randy Orton. I'm like, no. Pump your brakes. It's more like Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit. All right? But the thing is, New Japan has this problem, and I didn't think they were going to fall into it again. There is a large segment of fans that they want to see Okada versus Tanahashi every single night, every single show. But then there's a part of New Japan fans like, no, we want to see something different. So I don't know if they're just going to the well because, unlike Cena and Orton, people want to see Tanahashi versus Okada. I just thought for sure, Okada was going to beat him for the title at Wrestle Kingdom. I'm a little shocked by this. So there you go. Do you want to add anything about New Japan?
Not this week, no.
All right. And Wrestling Rantin says he's about to hit up Coco Sports, Wrestlemania. Yeah, you're here. Welcome. And Ken, his comment was from 4 minutes ago. We're like, oh, a Twitter comment from 7 hours ago, now 4 minutes ago. At KevENOCH, so at KEVENOCH on Twitter says, let's go, boom, 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 sucks. Let's go, boom, 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 sucks. Boom, boom, boom.
He looked hurt. He looked hurt that you cheated on him, man.
I did. He was. It was awkward. You know. I felt like one of those girls on YouTube. Context is everything. But have you ever seen that, like, where two guys trap the girl and videotape it, and they're like, we've been fucking each other forever. I can't believe you've been fucking him too. Oh, we know. I don't know why. I that brings joy to my heart. Like, I know I'm a horrible person, but usually I'm like, bros before hoes. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I felt like here.
Yeah, I think R. Kelly and Usher did a song about that, actually, and imagine what that song was about.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm not good with pop culture. Who is the pop culture girl? Because I found her to be attractive because, you know what? The problem with WWE and its women, and I imagine men, I don't know, a lot of them look exactly the same. Like, when I go on Tumblr, the women love Dean Ambrose, and he looks different. The girl who's the special guest, she didn't look like a knockout, and that made her, I mean, not knockout, sorry, TNA. She didn't look like a diva, but that made her so much sexier. You know, like, oh, look, she's different. It's a real woman, you know? I don't know. Yeah. I don't keep up with American pop culture. I'm really bad at music. Do you know about tonight's guest host?
Yeah, Nene, she's you might think differently after this. She's from Basketball Wives, and yeah.
I thought she was a real celebrity. She's a reality TV star?
Well, she's a real celebrity. She's pretty much a really big entrepreneur. She's got that whole Southern Atlanta entrepreneurial thing going on in a vein of Tyler Perry. So she's a really successful, really smart woman, but she's on Basketball Wives. So
it goes downhill from there.
Yeah, she fits in with the Total Divas crowd, but those girls are a little bit tougher than what you're going to see on Total Divas.
Yeah, sadly you're right. All right, so there you go. I just found her to be crazy attractive. But I don't know, I'm mixed now, because first off, I thought they did a good job of just having her as a guest, but not ruining it. It was like, oh, be with Total Divas, and that's it. And the second thing is, I'm a little mixed now. She's an entrepreneur, which, I absolutely love, even though I can't pronounce it. But she's on Basketball Wives. I don't know where to go with that. I don't know where to go with that.
Yeah, I do think that's a good point that you brought up, though, and I mentioned this in my review, that I think they have learned a lesson after the last 2 weeks. The celebrities, there were a couple of them tonight. They had that other guy from the reality show on tonight, and they did it where it's not overbearing. They interviewed the one guy. She did a little, escort to the ring and then got out. She wasn't in the match or anything. I think they've maybe have learned to tone that down and put it in its proper place, as opposed to the nonsense we've seen over the last month or so.
Well, and I wonder if that Brooklyn had a lot to do with that, because I'm sure if you're a celebrity and you go in front of, 10,000 people, I don't know how much those buildings hold, but you go in front of thousands of people and millions are watching and you're getting booed. If you're not like a real big wrestling fan and you're just a celebrity, you're probably like, what the fuck was that? And I'm pretty sure a bunch of agents are like, no, small segments. We don't want our clients to get booed. Because, in wrestling, people are like, oh, that's great, but you got to remember, they're going to show that clip on their shows. So what do they say? Like, oh, here you go, a bunch of old ladies. I was on Monday Night Raw, and everyone in Brooklyn hated me. So there you go. But yeah, I thought they did a good job with the celebrities. Not too much, not overbearing. Random comment. Go Cards. And that's from Brian Skeleton. I'm a Rays Giants fan. Tokyo Giants and Rays. But you know what? I'm happy.
Yeah, my O's got hammered over the. Boy, it's hard. I'm hoping for tomorrow for a turnaround for my Orioles, but Kansas City's kicking their ass.
Well, at least you're in the playoffs. I'm a Rays fan, and I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. I stay up till like 4 o'clock.
Oh, wait.
Dude, it's painful. It is painful.
Yeah, you guys played us. You guys played us Sunday, Tampa Bay, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Woo!
And I do this Monday Night Raw review, so you know my personality. I'll stay and watch even when you're getting your ass whooped, and it's like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, why am I still doing this?
Dude, I started cutting my grass in the second quarter. I was like, well, it's 28-0. Well, this game's over.
Yeah. Schoolie, Wrestling and Combat Sports Talk. High five, Schoolie. I'll have to check out your videos. What do you think of my theory that WWE has made Miz into a walking, talking Chris Jericho copy all the way to the IC title wins? Every time he has a match for one of his wins, he loses it the very next night. Also, the same WrestleMania main event fuck-up. What are your thoughts on this? I can see some similarities to it. I don't think they're doing it on purpose. I think I'm going to compliment The Miz, and then I'm going to insult them. I think The Miz, from the bottom of my heart, I believe this. I think he's the most improved wrestler of all time. From where he started to where he is now, and granted, since him being a top heel, he's really dipped down. But with that said, I don't think there's anyone that's ever improved more than The Miz. And I know I get a lot of heel heat, but I believe that in my heart. I believe no one's improved more than The Miz. Now, with that said, no, he's no fucking Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's in a league of his own. Chris Jericho is beloved in Japan. He's beloved everywhere. I think The Miz is the most improved, and I think, are they booking him the same? A little bit, but I just think it's the Hollywood heel type thing. But besides that, I don't really see, because the reason Jericho can lose over and over and over again is because we love him and are going to root for him. You know, he can lose a million times, and we're like, fuck you, we love Chris Jericho. I think the Miz could lose because it's his character and he's a heel. So I think they have some similarities, but they're not exactly the same. Your thoughts?
Yeah, see, my height of Jericho, I'm more of a end of his WCW, beginning of his WWE Jericho fan. I do see the similarities, but like you said, Miz isn't anywhere near as talented as Jericho is. But Mizdow is, I have to say, much more talented than Ralph is. So I can't.
Dude, plus 100. I didn't know where you were going with that, but that was amazing, bro. Congratulations.
I miss Ralphus. But yeah, I see. I get your point to the commenter. There is some similarities, but I think they're trying to go again. I think I said this 2 weeks ago on your show. They're trying to go more for his strengths than and minimize his weaknesses. And Miz's strengths are to be annoying, cowardly, and just what he's doing right now, which was part of Jericho's character at one point in his career.
All right, and Dragon Gate and New Japan discussion would be dope. Do it up if you got the time. All right, I'm gonna have to try to add it on. It's just sometimes I don't know. We'll see. I got to do more shows. Hopefully we can maybe make a network. I'm trying to get Wrestle and Rantin to turn on his people. Like, yeah, we got Wrestle and Rantin. Like, I want to go to your YouTube page, your Facebook page, and be like, bitches, we got Wrestle and Rantin. What are you gonna do about it? But people would be like, who the hell are you?
Like, can you make shorter shows? Okay, stop complaining, guys.
Yeah.
All good.
People love the short shows. Like, my whole thing is, like, can you make shorter shows? Like, no, that's not for us. Like, we're sorry. I don't know why, like, the YouTube generation, like, people making the videos always seem that they can't say we're not for everybody. They're like, oh, okay, well, you know what I mean? They always have to have, like, a PR spin. Like us, we're like, we're going to unsubscribe if you don't do that. No, you can unsubscribe. Well, you should do this, this, and this. And, like, sometimes some of the suggestions we take to heart and we'll change it. But if it's like, oh, your shows are too long, like, well, dude, that's just us. Sorry. Brian Skelton said this a while back, but it fits in right about now. What? And Brian Skelton says, slap on the back, bro. All right. Yeah, that's a Barry Horowitz. For people that don't know, give yourself a Barry Horowitz. I love Barry Horowitz. I actually got to host a radio show with Barry Horowitz for like 1 or 2 years, thanks to Shannon Rose. And he's a really nice, good guy. I like Barry Horowitz. I cannot say anything bad about Barry Horowitz. He's a gentleman and a scholar.
Who did he get his win with when he got his mini pushed at one time?
I think that was at Wrestlemania, wasn't it?
I think it was Candido. He kept beating Candido, or was that who it was? And he kept winning over Candido finally, like in the 90s during the, I forgot what era it was, but I remember he went through a little win streak after forever and a day being a jobber.
Yeah. Well, I know he hates the term jobber, and he, like, tries to educate people. But, like, I saw him wrestle live, I was about to say recently, but not recently, at the not the XFL, XWF tapings. And when you see him live, you just realize how great he was at selling. He was amazing at selling. Like, I saw Barry Horowitz, XWF, I watched it, and like, I was just like, he's either getting the fucking living shit kicked out of him, or he's the king of selling. I go backstage, and he's, like, juggling pineapples or something. Okay, that part's not true. But I went backstage, and he was completely fine. And I was just like, dude, you're just amazing at what you do. And it's sad that a lot of people won't know that. So there you go. Dude, you know how you do the video packages? The Rick Rude one's amazing, by the way. But you know how you do the video package one? I will pay you $10 if you do one on Barry Horowitz. Now, granted, probably no one would watch it, but I would be completely blown away. I love Barry Horowitz. All right.
That is a big research project right there.
Yeah. Isaiah Thompson says, I think TNA is getting better than WWE right now. I believe so, but a lot of people... I said this on my TNA review, and I'll say it here, and I want to get Wrestling Rantin's view. I think everyone wants an alternative to do good so that WWE improves, but I also think a lot of WWE fans want to make fun of the alternative. I want an alternative so WWE can become better, But if you like an alternative, we're going to make fun of you. I think it's like, yeah, that's not how it works. I actually think today is a lot better starting in New York City and now. But a lot of people had mixed reviews. Either people loved the pay-per-view or absolutely hated it. So there you go. I don't know. Do you watch TNA or just not on your radar?
I have been up and down with TNA. I do plan to watch Bound for Glory when I can get my hands on it.
It's almost like I sat so close to the ring. It feels like a Coco Sports Wrestle AM.
Yeah, I think you said you're like near the ring entrance, so if we watch it, we could actually see you hanging out there near the entrance. But yeah, I've gone back and forth with TNA. I've probably 4 times I've tried to watch them. I remember when they went to the Monday night, they tried to recreate the Monday Night Raw or the Monday Night Wars. I started watching them again. I couldn't get into it. I'm much more of a Ring of Honor fan because I think they are distinctly different. TNA, I may give them a shot now because you and a lot of other people are saying that their shows improved so much, so I may start watching them again.
Yeah, but the thing about TNA, though, which scares me, is every time you convince your friend to watch it, that's always the worst show. Like, it's like, TNA has been awesome in New York. TNA was awesome in Tokyo. I mean, I'm still pissed off they didn't have a title match. But TNA is awesome in Pennsylvania. And you're like, dude, it's really good. And then as soon as you, like, a friend's like, all right, I'm going to give it a shot, they just shit right on the coffee table. You're just like, what? Come on. But I'm going to be honest. I think TNA, since New York City, since them having money problems, it's great. But there are mixed feelings about Bound for Glory. Some people are like, oh, I loved it. Some people are like, what? It's not shiny. So, I don't know. It's all over the place on that. So, there you go. All right, Brian Skelton. I hope I'm saying that. Heat-seeking Cena shovel. Killed the wrestling star. Yeah, it happens. Tiffany Nicole says, Randy Orton should have lost so they could have had a loser versus loser match. Yeah, I always find it. Do you not find it weird that that's the storyline? You lost, so you get Randy Orton. He's like, he's like the going away. What's that? They always get. Remember the old TV? I don't know if they still do this, but daytime television used to have like Wheel of Fortune and stuff. And if you lost, they gave you like the board game edition of the show you were on. So like this, Randy Orton is the Monday Night Raw board game edition.
It's absolutely. Again, I think this entire show kind of smattered of, oh shit, we need to rewrite this and we forgot Randy Orton again, so we have nothing for him to do. Oh, let's put him involved with the main event again. It's like the last pay-per-view; they just threw him in with Chris Jericho, and they've been doing that for a long time with him. I know you may differ on this a little bit. I think their writing team has a hard time knowing what to do with some of these guys. I mean, Randy Orton hasn't had a storyline really since Wrestlemania. And that he was kind of like a side player in that whole thing anyway. So I don't know if they know what to do with him. So he's a good hand. His match tonight with Ziggler was absolutely awesome for me, match of the night. I don't think he should have won the way he did, but it's a stupid scenario where the loser of a match faces this guy, and you want to face the loser of a match. Why? What's the point? It makes no sense.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm trying to get it. We got a lot of comments. Brian Skelton, you want the last comment? The last comment's an honor. I don't know if I can give it to you. Will we ever see Cesaro versus Rollins in a feud? Probably in a couple years. I don't know, but it would be great. Brian Skelton says, should Cena even be involved in this match? No, everyone's. I wonder, like, we always bitch that they don't listen to the fans. Do you think this is the case of, oh, fuck, we fucked up, no one wants to see a three-way, no one wants to see two, you know what I mean? Because I always thought, Rob said this from Coco Sports. He said that if Cena wins both of them, he's done. And I think a lot of people were not going to buy the pay-per-view because people thought Cena could win both of them. Do you think this is a rare occasion that they actually listen to the fans?
Yes and no, because if they listen to the fans, we don't want to see Cena and Orton again, so they're putting that back on. Maybe that's because they have no other choice, but that's their fault. Anyway, listening to the fans, I don't know if it's so much as that as though they just saw the responses as far as people interested in subscribing to the network, and that's what's driving it is money, not so much that they really care about us winning quality matches.
Yeah, I don't. Me and Jerry talked about this a little time on Coco Sports, and I think Rantin can agree. I think WWE does everything perfect except creative and wrestling. Like if their creative was as good as their marketing, or as good as the guys who run the show, like editing, camera, you know what I mean? If their in-ring product, creative-wise, and let's focus on creative because they have some great athletes. If creative was on the same level as marketing and the production team and everything else, I think WWE would be some of the best entertainment in the world. I really believe that. I just think creative ruins them, and they're the most stubborn, thinking they're fucking in charge of everything.
Yeah, well, they don't have the perception of we don't know everything. They think they know everything, and when they hit it right, when you get Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, WrestleMania 25, there's probably no better entertainment in the world than a scenario like that. They've done it before. They just refuse to do it because there's a little bit of ego. And I have to admit, I did watch a little bit of Total Divas, and this was in a backstage segment where they were telling one of the divas, we know what we're doing, you shouldn't, I think it was the one girl who dyed her hair red, you shouldn't do that, we know what we're doing, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no.
Twitter, we got a retweet from Wes. He says, New Japan is the best professional wrestling company in existence right now. I agree with that 100%. Facebook, I think, fell asleep. Oh, anybody? No, we did it. And D-Pap said, anybody looking forward to Lucha Underground? I'm looking forward to any alternative right now. It could
me
be
too.
like, I don't know, a fucking bag of shit.net. And they're like, there's pro wrestling on there. I'm like, dude, I'll look for it. All right, back to YouTube. Market Garden. After the Money in the Bank match they had with the crazy ladder spots, Ambrose and Rollins and the Cell will steal this show. And I believe so. Brian Skelton, he just goes crazy with some comments. Some of them make sense, some of them not. Cena versus Orton, ? Take my money. I think he's being sarcastic.
Yes.
Why in the world do we have to watch that match? You don't really have to, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. Julie Harrison interrupts and says, maybe if John Cena comes as the prototype like in Ohio Valley Wrestling versus Randy Orton. Not so fast, Julie Harrison! I know you have love for Boom Boom, but no. The prototype sucked cock. There's this fucking imagination, or there's this memory of the prototype not sucking cock. No, breaking news. I hated the prototype in Ohio Valley. He sucked cock. There. Thank you. Did you watch him as the prototype in Ohio Valley back then?
Yeah, I saw a lot of the videos, him and Lesnar and Batista and Orton in their original days, and I wasn't feeling any of them at the time. I didn't think any of them were any that, well, except for Orton maybe, were that good.
I was a big fan of Brock just because he was doing the shooting star press a lot, and that dude, huge dude doing the shooting star press, I was impressed by that.
Yeah.
The rest, I was just like, oh, they're pretty, you know. It's like, oh, look how pretty you are.
We got muscles.
Tiffany Nicole, is Brock at this pay-per-view? No, Brock is probably not going to be on television for a very long time. And there's probably some behind-the-scenes drama that we're not knowing about. But as of right now, he is not scheduled till this year. He's not scheduled to show up on any cards this year. And WWE's response to that, why I think they hate the fans, is, well, it's only $9.99. It's not as big a deal anymore. Well, once you start saying everything's not a big deal, eventually your product suffers. Russian Circle, motherfucker. All right. This is back to Brian Skelton. Sega Saturn. All right. Porn star is a real job. Brian Skelton, you just want me to say random stuff. Like, you ever see the what is it called? I don't know. It's a YouTube guy. And he does, like, the Honest Trailers, I think it's called. And
yeah.
Video, people just randomly want him to say stuff. That's what I feel like now. And Brian Skelton gives a real comment, 5 out of 10, Ziggy saved it. Yeah.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Mr. Biggs, a.k.a. the bad guy, Rosa Mendez and Naomi, apologize to the Naomi family, looked extra tasty tonight. Yeah. I still think, I don't know, I just like girls that look different. I still think the Basketball Wives girl I was just like, you're a real woman. You know? Not saying that the Total Divas ain't real women. I'm just saying Total Divas are not real women. Nene from Real Housewives of Atlanta. Oh, okay. I did not. Oh, well, and she's in Atlanta, so it kind of makes sense. I see what's going on.
Oh, sorry.
Now,
Yes,
why
that's
do
right. It's not Basketball Wives. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, man, she's a real woman, and I just wish she didn't do reality TV. But then if she didn't do reality TV, I wouldn't be able to see her. She has her own businesses. She's successful, and she's.
Calm down there. Your wife's going to be mad at you.
Oh, yeah, trust me. Well, she was the one. I mean, she got a lot of heat because my wife took pictures, and it was like, oh, my God, who took these pictures of Velvet Sky's ass? And I was like, well, actually, that wasn't me. Brian Skelton says she has a real vagina. There you go. Well, you know, that's important with real women. Well, to most people. I don't know. I've been to Brazil. Oh, man. Do you ever say something out loud and go, oh, that's going to come up to bite us on the ass? Okay, let me...
Yeah, cover that one up.
Atlanta has some good-looking women who are not women. And so does by us, we have Rapungi. So, yeah. You know, there are some guys, like, because I next door to TNA was, what do they call it when you dress up as your favorite characters? Not cross-dressing. I want to say cross-dressing. But what is it called?
Cosplay.
Cosplay. They had a cosplay thing right next to TNA pay-per-view. And, yeah, there are some men there that you wouldn't know were men. Like, you just walk up and like, are you a man? And they're like, yes. And I was like, good job, sir. Good job. Like, what do you say? What do you say? You know what I mean? But, yeah, my wife was all pissed off because a lot of my students recognized me, and nothing like a bunch of, like, I don't know, like 16 to 20-year-olds in cosplay running up and be like, oh, it's David Sensei, to get your wife in a great mood. Brian Skelton says, good luck to you all. Thank you. Good luck to you too, sir. Tiffany Nicole says, why do they put things on a pole? If it's not Naomi, a stripper, or two strippers, I don't want to see a pole. Yeah, the pole matches seem to be stupid. It just seems like a really bad version of a ladder match. I don't understand the pole matches.
Yeah, that also, again, last-minute thinking. Now, the funny thing about that is everybody was complaining last month when the Rusev Swagger match wasn't a flag on a pole match at SummerSlam, so there you go.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I was complaining because I'm a super nerd. I was like, well, according to the rules, you know what I mean? It wasn't a flag match. Malik Douglas says, the Bullet Club got destroyed at the show. It was sad. Yeah, but I'm an Okada guy. I'm a Tanahashi guy. But, you know, it is sad for Bullet Club. So, Schoolie, Wrestling and Combat Sports Suck says, about my last comic, Jericho is my favorite wrestler if there is such a thing. Yeah, there's always favorite wrestlers. You are human, Schoolie. It's okay to have a favorite. And it was the first heel that I rooted for. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Jericho is really awesome. He's probably in my top 5. We'll have to do, maybe me and Wrestlemania will do a combo show with our favorite wrestlers of all time.
Yep.
Maybe we'll try to grab a bunch of YouTubers / Coco Sports Team guys, because I'm sure like different people rank differently, especially active and all time. Like I think Jericho ranks way higher on my list of all time than active.
Yeah, my all-time favorite makes a lot of people angry, so we'll get to that some other time.
All right. Brian Skelton says, Ralphus equals buy rates. Brian,
yes.
Give yourself another Barry Horowitz. I never thought Monday Night Raw, October, what is it, 13th, 2014, Monday Night Raw review. I don't think there would be this many Ralphus mentions. If you would have told me this, I would have never believed it. And Brian Skelton just says, Chris. All right. And Brian Skelton says, by the way, Barry for the Hall of Fame. Yeah, we have a Combat Sports Hall of Fame. Maybe we'll have to put Barry Horowitz in it. I love Barry Horowitz, but I don't know. It depends. Like, you have wins, losses. That's why, like, WWE Hall of Fame and Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame is weird. Because do wins, losses, and titles mean something? Because when you talk to the wrestlers, Like, you can tell Barry is, I'm on first name basis. You can tell sometimes it really bothers him because he was so good at his art, but everyone's like, ha ha ha, you're the guy that always lost. You know, I'm sure 40 years or 50 years of hearing that, you're just like, what the fuck? But at the same time, the titles mean so much because people talk about it, they cry over it, especially when they get up there in age. It's one of those things. That's a great question. If you don't win a title and don't win, but you're awesome at your craft, do you get into the Hall of Fame? Wrestling Rantin, you're a historian. What do you think?
Well, there are some people who are in that Hall of Fame when you've got Pete Rose and some of the other garbage.
Yeah, well, that's a celebrity wing that WWE screwed up. But you also have Coco Beware, Nikolai Volkov. I don't think it was by Coco Beware and Nikolai Volkov's win percentage. They were not big, you know, so I guess Barry Horowitz could make it. That would be nice for Barry. It would be nice for Mr. Horowitz. I feel weird calling him Barry. I only call Obama that.
Oh, God. Yeah, let's not go there. Yeah, I think he could definitely make it because there is a nostalgia factor to WWE, and anytime somebody picks, like you're picking up on Barry Horowitz a lot on your show, people come up out of nowhere. You never know what'll spur people going, yeah, Barry Horowitz, the whole pat on the back thing, that was pretty cool. But if he gets in before Macho Man does, then I have a problem with it.
All right, and Brian Skelton's got some more comments. We're going to go. Brian Skelton, we're going to read all your comments in a row. I'm just checking out other social media network right now. I think we're going to be wrapping this up soon because Brian Skelton seems to be rocking it. And, you know, Brian, you can just call me on the phone. No. All right, let's see. Anything? Does anyone know where I can see the Team 3D promo on Bullet Club? Unless a fan was recording it on their phone, Jeremy Borash he works very hard. He made sure all the cameras were cut off. This might be the last time you see Team 3D. Like, before he even went into the Bullet Club, they didn't even want that shit on camera. They're like, cut it off, cut it off, cut it off. So it's weird, because they, you know, on the pay-per-view, they put over the Dudleys like crazy, but it seemed like when you were there live, it was like, all right, we're leaving. Because, like, even when the Dudleys, I don't know if this made the pay-per-view, I don't think it did. A lot of stuff didn't make the pay-per-view. But the Dudleys were like, I only have 2 words for you. And people thought it was going to be New Japan. So when they said thank you, they're like, you're not Samoa Joe. We only thank Samoa Joe around here. All right. Boom, boom. Any more live comments? Hang on, my computer's being a dick. I'm sorry, we can't hang on forever. Brandon from the Internet Infantry was there live, so much props to that. All right, we are going to refresh the comments, and then we're going to be done. Sound like a plan there, Wrestling Rantin?
Sounds like a plan. I did. For anybody else who's watching this, I brought this up on Twitter just to throw this out to the commenters who are watching this after tonight. I had a big issue with all the champions kind of jobbing tonight, losing the Goldust and Gold Star lost. Ziggler lost, Sheamus lost, but that was kind of part of the feud. And JR and I and the Daily X-Man, or whatever the hell his name is, we all got into this Twitter argument about, is it a good thing that your champions are losing in non-title matches to the main eventers just to make the main eventers look good? Is it a good thing to have that on your show, on your flagship show? Is that why these championships don't mean anything? My take is, yeah, that's a big reason why the IC title and the tag team titles don't mean anything when, these guys are losing matches almost every other week. Ziggler's lost twice in the last week, and then he got curb stomped. So how impressive is your IC champion when he's getting his ass kicked by half the main event?
Yeah. To me, it's just very, I don't know. It's very weird. Are they deleting your comments, Brian Skelton? Like, Brian Skelton had like 20 comments, and now he has 2. Is Google deleting that, or are you deleting that?
Is that YouTube? Because they might have put them in a spam filter or whatever.
Yeah, they did. Hold on. We got a lot. Yep. All right. All right, let's see. Oh, I am Mike. You went in the spam filter, too. All right, let's go through the spam comments real quick.
It's got to be a whole segment of the show now. The spam comments.
Yeah, well, because my whole thing, they'll be like, someone will come on and be like, your show sucks. Go watch another popular YouTuber. Fake account at fake account. And that will make it. But then it's like, I have a question, Dave. What is your thoughts on professional wrestling? Spam! All right, let's see. Here we go. Spam. He has a link to the Shine Champion. Bam. We'll put that up so you can check it out. Have you heard Cena's verse of The Wiz Khalifa WWE 2K soundtrack? Laugh my ass.
Oh, God,
you can check it out now. I probably mispronounced that rapper's name, and everyone cringed. I apologize. I'm not into music.
Wiz Khalifa. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was with you, and I just heard. This is what I heard. I heard. And I'm like, oh, did I say his name wrong?
No, it's just John Cena, and it was Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get too racial here. But there was a thing. I grew up in a mostly black neighborhood, and I remember when dating black girls that as a white guy, I always got the look, and this is James Legend's joke, by the way, but it's such a funny thing. They always got this look from other friends that would look at you like, you ain't hitting that right. And I feel I had that feeling here. I was saying a rapper's name, and you're like, you ain't saying that right. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know, like, if you ever do that, because I grew up, we're older. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. So, like, a white guy dating a black girl was a big deal on both sides of the fence. And I remember we'd walk into, like, these places, and we would, like, ah. And, like, the guys would look at me like, you ain't hitting that right. And then the white girls would be like, I'm racist. I never found Dave attractive before, but I have to do something about this.
Exactly.
Anyway, we got way off topic there.
It's all good. It's all good.
Seth versus Dean, Hell in a Cell would be money. That feud could have been only around those two. Everyone agrees with that. Rusev versus Cena should be the program. I think they're saving that for WrestleMania, or if Kurt Angle or someone else comes back, or if Hogan can be cleared. So I think the Rusev-Cena thing is their backup plan for WrestleMania. Like I said, this is just from stuff I read on the net. I'm not backstage.
Now wait, which WrestleMania would that be? Because The Rock and Triple H are already promoting WrestleMania 32, for God's sakes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of rumor matchups, and one of the rumor matchups for this year's WrestleMania is John Cena. So there you go. Like, I think it's Brock. These are the rumors that I heard. Like I said, it's just rumors, so take it for what it is. Brock versus Roman Reigns. Good, because both of them ain't here to build it up, so perfect. Triple H, Rock, John Cena, Rusev, and then there's also rumors of Hogan and Sting if they can clear it up. Oh, Sting, Undertaker.
Yeah. So,
because there's also rumors that Hogan and Sting will have one last match. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Hogan Cena. I'm okay with Hogan Sting. I'm okay with one last match. But the problem is it has to be really one last match. I'm not, like, even The Rock versus Cena, once in a lifetime. I was on board. I know I get a lot of heat for this. I respect The Rock. I'm not a fan of The Rock. And I hate John Cena. But I was on board. I was like, oh, if it's once in a lifetime, let's do it. But then, as soon as it's the second time, because I was at WrestleMania 24, and it burns my ass every time I see Ric Flair wrestling TNA.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, something special and you ruined it. It's like getting married and you're still newlyweds, and then you're on your honeymoon and you walk in and your wife is blowing 6 dudes. It's just not special anymore.
Wow. You got to seek some therapy over that, man.
Sorry, dude. It's Savage, greatest of all time. A lot of people agree with it. Jobber Hall of Fame. I guess, but I know a lot of people that are jobbers, especially the older school guys. They hate that term. Building the future. I hope so. Drew effing Carey. Yes. Email me. All right, if you want. I love how, like, I don't know how other people are gonna view this, but Wrestling Rantin will know, because he's a writer just like me, and he doesn't show his face. And I'm sure your editors and people will tell you this, right? This is suggestions they give you. But he doesn't show his face. He doesn't use his real name. Doesn't give out his real email. He keeps his pro wrestling life separate. Now, I'm going to give you now that all my business contacts reach me at too. It's my last name, KOCOTOS @gmail.com. So email me. Bam. All right. That's not going to come back to bite me on the ass.
Of course not. Of course not, no.
All right, we're out of the spam. Let's go to the real comments, even though those were real comments. All right, bam. Did you say you're not an Okada guy? What? I might have stuttered. No. I love Okada more than a straight man should. Okada to me is the greatest wrestler in the world right now, hands down. I love Okada. I said maybe Bullet Club I respect, but like I don't know. I love AJ Styles, the man and the wrestler, but I hate the character. You know, he's not Prince Devitt. This is kind of a watered down. This is Bullet Club with Virgil, and NWA fans will know what that means.
Yeah.
But I love Okada. I think he's the greatest wrestler going right now, by far. No, I'm definitely an Okada guy. Mr. Biggs, a.k.a. the bad guy. All right. I have read articles about the transgender new half scene in Japan, and it's scary. Not in a demeaning way, though, because many of them look like real women. Oh, yeah, definitely. If you come to Japan, you know, like there's the crocodile Dundee joke. You know, like, oh, you feel and ask. Don't feel. Hold on. First off,
No.
With the Crocodile Dundee joke being hilarious, it doesn't matter gay, straight, transgender, any other human being. You should not touch them without consent. I want to make that sure, because I can picture a lot of Japanese tourists be like, oh, the guy on Coco Sports said just feel for cocks. No, please ask them Clinton. But no, in Japan, especially the Roppongi area, Roppongi is like a really bar scene, yeah, there'll be some men that look so beautiful as women. So you have to be careful. But they're pretty honest. They're not hiding it. And it's weird because maybe like 5-10 years ago, as far as the gay movement goes, never thought we'd go into this. Welcome to Wrestlemania. But as far as the gay, and you've rejoined us, you're like, oh, gay talk in Japan? I'm coming in twice.
Yeah, I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, but yeah, with what was I gonna say? With the gay movement in Japan, like there was like maybe 5-10 years ago, you couldn't be gay without being frowned upon unless you dressed like a hot woman. Like it was weird. It's like, but now being gay is really more accepted in Japan, and it's moved on, gay rights and stuff. But I remember maybe 10 years ago, they're like, oh my God, you look like a guy and you're gay? What the hell is wrong with you? And then it was like, oh my God, you're a gay guy but look like a hot woman? Hey, congratulations, you're a celebrity. Welcome. And it was like, what? So, yeah, but Roppongi has some beautiful women that might have some extra treasures under their chest.
Extra treasures under their chest.
How you describe it?
Wow. Yeah, you can keep those treasures. Keep them to yourself, man.
welcome to Wrestlemania, Wrestling Rantin. I'm here. My question is: have you ever had transgender talk on Wrestling Rantin?
Except when we talked about Nicole Bass. No, not really. That's about it.
All right, question from Lennox Wooderson to get us back on track, and I think this might be the last comment. We'll do a refresh, and then we'll do our plugs. Who would you rather see Brock face at Mania? Thank you, Lennox Wooderson, for such a great comment. His list is Reigns, Brock, Bryan, Rollins, Ambrose, or Cena. You want to go first?
Yeah, I've kind of answered this before, but I would like to see Ambrose out of all of those. I think that will work at this point.
Yeah.
But again, my scenario is that somehow it winds up being the Shield against Lesnar at the end.
Yeah, because there was rumors, just rumors, like take it for what they were, that the Undertaker was supposed to be the Undertaker's match. The Undertaker was supposed to take on all three members of the Shield, but they changed it for Brock. Who would I rather see? Me personally, if he's healthy, I don't know. The greedy fan of me says Ambrose. I like the Shield going against him, but I don't want the Shield to be a team. Like, I'd like to see the three members of the Shield, Brock, and they're like, oh, fuck you, I want to go for the title. Like a nice little four-way, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think those guys, and four-ways usually suck, but I think those guys could pull it off. If I have to pick one, as a fan, Ambrose. But as a well, what's best for WWE in the future, I would say Roman Reigns. Just because it just seemed like I would say Ambrose, but I feel like it's going to be Reigns. The Rock, I just don't think there's interest there. I think Rock versus Triple H, there's a lot more interest there. A lot of people say they want to see Rock versus Brock, but I honestly don't think there's that much interest. Not on my behalf. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And plus, how are you going to build it up? Part-timer, no. I think you got to keep it separate, try to build people. Daniel Bryan, I have a fear, and this is coming from a guy that broke his neck and back. I have a fear Daniel Bryan may never be 100% again. I hope I'm absolutely wrong, but from the last comment we heard is, oh, I don't have strength in my arm. I'm going to have to go back for surgery. That sounds scary as shit, and then we haven't heard anything. Now, maybe that's a good thing. We haven't heard anything because, oh, at Royal Rumble, or, hey, we're going to be surprised. You know what I'm saying? So it's possible that it's a good thing, but I'm afraid we may never see Daniel Bryan again. And I hope I'm wrong. Like, when Daniel Bryan shows up and you're all laughing at me, I'm going to be happy. Like, you're like, oh, you thought he was never coming back. I'm going to have a tear in my eye. I'm like, thank Terry Funk I was wrong.
You also just...
Good?
Yes, you also have to keep in mind, too, for the fans out there, that Bryan's had some other health issues before. I mean, he's not really a vegan by choice. He's a vegan because of health issues. So he's not him getting his neck hurt the way it is, and plus the way he wrestles. Even if he does, hopefully for his health's sake, come back and have a good recovery, that's one thing. But him getting in the ring and wrestling the way he does, he might not be back at all because you don't want to do 50%. I don't think he's the kind of guy that would want to do 50%.
Well, I can see him doing 50% from one last match.
Yeah, maybe for one last match.
I think he can do 50% just because the fans love him so much, but I don't think he goes back 50% and he wants to be a full-time guy. That's just my opinion of what I know from being a super fan. I could be absolutely wrong, but that's just, my opinion there. Sometimes you have to feel like, sometimes you say something so confident, people are like, does he know something we don't know? Seth Rollins, I don't think Seth Rollins should be in this match unless it's all the Shield members. I don't think Seth Rollins one-on-one with Brock, anyone's buying into that. And John Cena,
we're done. We're done with that, guys.
I would be sad. All right, I think we got some more spam comments by accident. Brian Skelton says, now it makes the champ look weak. Brian Skelton says, no! I'd like to comment. Hey, dude, we love reading comments. We're all about community here. Thank you for all your comments. And for his health, I hope he will retire. I think he's talking about Daniel Bryan. If he's not 100%, I don't want to see him get hurt. It just sucks. But my whole thing is, with that, I do want to say this. I definitely want to say this. You remember all those brass rings and having to prove himself and bust his ass and work 10 matches? Dana White has said this, and I repeat Dana White's point over and over and over when it comes to Daniel Bryan. You only have a short time. When you're putting your body on the line like a real professional wrestler, like a Samoa Joe, a Daniel Bryan, a CM Punk, a Okada, Tanahashi, if you're a real... Fuck it, I don't care. You can be offended, sports entertainment fan. If you're a real professional wrestler, you only have a short shelf life. And having him not be champion and having him go through all these hoops, you hurt his career. Now, granted, it's so fucked up because John Cena plays it safe. John Cena does everything right, and he's rewarded for that. But the guy busting his ass, keeping the audience fucking in their seats, giving us something to believe in. He's the guy that busts his ass, and you're like, oh, we'll give you a title run because the fans bitched about it enough. It just seems wrong on a lot of levels. And I'm saying, not like kayfabe-wise. I'm like shoot level-wise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just bullshit. And you never know when you're going to get injured. And because WWE has this bullshit excuse. WWE fans and WWE has this bullshit excuse. And Christian's the ultimate example. Oh, don't worry, give it time. Every time I hear a WWE defender or WWE say, don't worry, give it time, I'm looking at you, Edge, you fucking cocksucker. You said that about your fucking brother. Did you mention that on your clip show? When you say give it time, when WWE defenders and WWE says give it time, that's pretty much of go fuck yourself, you're not getting what you want. That's what that is. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus John Cena. No. I think it buys tickets, promos. I can see WWE. There are a lot of reports Stone Cold is in training to make a comeback. Of course, I think storyline-wise, talent-wise, everyone, at least everyone I know, would love to see CM Punk come back for one last match. Just CM Punk for Stone Cold on the mic, built-in storylines, built-in, fuck you, I did it my way. That's just such fucking money. They have so much in common, yet they're so different that it's just pure fucking money.
And I've wondered about this, and this is conspiracy theory, and I don't believe in them too much, but wouldn't the irony of that be that CM Punk, by going away, would actually wind up getting what he wanted, which was the main event slot, a real main event slot at WrestleMania? Because Austin versus Punk as a main event for WrestleMania, nothing's going to beat that they've got in the roster now. So he actually would wind up getting everything he was complaining that he didn't get last year or this year.
Brian Skelton gives us a secret link. I'm not going to click on it while I'm on the air, just in case Brian Skelton is a terrorist. But he said, there you go. Thank you very much. So he has a link to something that looks like to be a picture. Brian Skelton says, I know it sucks, and I agree. Bam.
So picture to an Asian transvestite.
Really? Well, I should have clicked that right away.
Okay. I'm kidding.
I don't know what it is. It's a mystery link. I feel like we're Philip DeFranco now. The mystery link by Brian Skelton. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. I just don't want to click on mystery links because if it's something crazy and the show goes off the air, that'd be sad.
Yeah.
Brad Yelly says, how is Rob doing? He got a real job, and he's been busting his ass. Rob does a lot of stuff with video games and programming and writing. He's a very busy guy. So I know if John Cena beat both Shield members, he was tapping out. I know he said that. He said, if John Cena beats both Shield members, this storyline, which didn't happen, he's like, I'll do one last show with you and I'm done. I think Rob will come back. He's just going to come back on his own schedule. Because I live in Japan, and me and Wrestling Rantin and being writers, we have a lot more free time than someone who has to run a computer game company, has to go out into the real world to get a job. So, Rob's always welcome back. There's no heat. It's just real life is getting in the way of his internet life. And I think we've all been there. And for his health, I'm hoping he's going to retire from Brian Skelton, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
Boom. And I think we're done. You want that, Brian Skelton, in your last comment?
Sounds good. Sounds very good.
You
know, the one thing on Skelton's comment, though, it's kind of ironic. I remember looking back in January at the Royal Rumble poster, and it was prominently Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, and John Cena, and I was very optimistic, as a lot of fans probably were, that this was going to be a turnaround year because you finally had three legit main eventers in Cena, Punk, and Bryan, and now here we are. We're back with the John Cena show. You know, no fault of Bryan's, a little bit of fault of Punk's, but they're both gone, and now we've got to start over again. So yeah, it's sad, and I just hope with the injury to Reigns, and God, I hope nobody else gets injured anytime soon. And the way that they seem to not be pushing their mid card guys, Cesaro and Ziggler, by having them job out to the main eventer still. I don't know what does the future look like for WWE? I mean, that's my question to the viewers. I mean, what are they going to be able to get back to that point? Because the only way you can really break out of the mid card is if you drop a pipe bomb or have a hijack. Otherwise, your main event is going to be nothing.
I don't know. You have a lot of great NXT guys. The problem is, and a lot of websites are writing stories about this, that until Vince McMahon steps down, I don't think it's ever going to be any better. I don't think it's ever going to improve. And I don't know. I don't think it's CM Punk's fault, but that's a very controversial issue, and everyone has different views on that. But I think that Royal Rumble, too, is what Dave Bautista won. I don't wish, now that I got older and have been injured and sick, I don't wish ill will on anyone as far as injuries goes, but now I would want more Dave Bautista's success. Like, he just signed on to do another movie as a villain. Guardians of the Galaxy did huge. Wrestlers that I hate, I just hope they have something successful outside of pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if John Cena was starring as Captain America? Well, granted, that would ruin Captain America for me, but I'm willing to sacrifice Captain America to get John Cena off her chair. But yeah, it would be great. Another comment from Phil Skelton. I hope I'm not mispronouncing that. I keep calling him Skeleton. He's like, it's actually spelled Phil versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Seriously, take my money, and I agree with that.
Yeah, you did see that
going away. CM Punk.
You did see that 2K Sports thing they did a couple years ago with JR, that kind of Fox interview that they had for the video game where CM Punk and Stone Cold.
Flair went a little bit nuts.
Yeah, if any of you guys out there watching this haven't seen that, definitely check that out, because I thought at the time it was probably leading to a match, but you need nothing more than just that little bit right there to let you know that absolutely would be an amazing main event.
Yeah, without a doubt, it's just so great. And not only, but you know what? I kind of like, how like NXT is now. And you know what would get me excited for WrestleMania? And I'm dead serious about this. I think this might get some heel heat. Sting, Hogan, Undertaker, Triple H, Rock, CM Punk, Stone Cold, Daniel Bryan. All 8 guys for different reasons. This is the last time you'll ever see them. Wouldn't that be great? And they kept it. It wasn't a Ric Flair thing. How special would that WrestleMania be? And then in the Monday Night Raw after, you know what I mean? But they would never do that. But can you imagine?
I don't know, because I've read a couple articles this week that goes back to the Triple H and Rock thing that they were promoting for not this coming WrestleMania, but WrestleMania 2016. A lot of that, if it's at the Cowboy Stadium or whatever it's called now, that kind of is the plan, is the one last time for all of these things, and they're trying to build to that. That is a rumor that I've read on a couple sites that actually might happen.
I would absolutely love that, and like a legit passing of the torch. Like you know me, I'm a cheap bastard. I like TNA Bound for Glory, but I can't tell people to pay $60. I'm just a cheap bastard. You know what I mean? But yeah, I kid you not, if it was these guys, Undertaker, Sting, Hogan, Punk, Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, like Daniel Bryan for health reasons. If they said this is the last time you're ever going to see them, sign up to long-term Legends deals so they have to keep their word, how amazing would that event be? It wouldn't be 5-star matches everywhere out of everybody, but it would be great. Matter of fact, if that was the case, I would actually probably fly into America. And people knowing me, that's a huge step. I would actually fly into America wherever it was.
Well, think about it.
Actually watch it.
Think about flying to Texas in 2 years, because like I said, I've seen a couple articles that said that's kind of where they're going. And even Triple H, he was talking about, maybe not this year's WrestleMania Rock, but in the next WrestleMania in front of 100,000 people, they're aiming for that big-ass Jerry Jones Stadium for a big WrestleMania. And what you said right there, that's the only way they're going to get 100,000 people in there. That's the only way they're going to beat WrestleMania 3, technically, is to get 100,000 people at a WrestleMania, is to put on a cart like that. Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk one last time, Hogan versus whoever one last time, Sting, Undertaker one last time, Triple H, Rock one last time.
Yeah. I don't agree with those matchups. CM Punk has to take on Stone Cold. But even then, can you imagine a handshake one last time at WrestleMania 2? I'm getting excited now. I'm getting too excited because when I start hearing what the real card is, I'm going to be sad. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. They're like,
I don't know. Every once in a while they get it right. So maybe 2 years from now they'll get it right. Hopefully. Yeah,
I really liked WrestleMania 19. I thought WrestleMania, I thought as far as a little bit of everything, you know what I mean? Like different people, Cena Shovel versus Stone Cold, that would be sad. It would make money, and WWE, that's something WWE would do, but I would be sad. But yeah, I don't know. It's just WWE has all the talent in the world. It could be great. and you come up with all these great ideas and start talking, and then they're like, all right, it's Brock Lesnar versus Cena. And you're like, really? That's what you fucking deliver to us? That's what you bring to the table?
They're great when they're pushed. And who knows? I mean, 2 years is a long time, or a year and a half is a long time. And if, they keep losing money and the ratings keep going down, they may feel the push to do something like that. So you never know. And I agree with you on 19. 19 was probably one of my favorite ones. 8, 3, of course. 25 was that's just for Shawn Michaels and Undertaker.
Yeah. Well, I like 19 a lot because I feel like it was the perfect WrestleMania and had something for everybody. It wasn't all 5-star matches. You know what I mean? Like if I do like classes on screenwriting. And I think when people say, what is the perfect American movie? Like, if you're like, I've never seen an American movie, what's an American movie? I know it doesn't get the best reviews, but as far as giving an alien or someone from another country the perfect American movie, I think it's Armageddon. Like, I think Armageddon has a little bit of something for everyone. It feels very Hollywoodish. I thought WrestleMania 19 was their Armageddon. It might not have been perfect for everyone, but when you say, hey, what's WrestleMania like? You're like, here you go. You know what I mean? It's got a little bit of something for everybody, which they try to do, but fail.
Yeah, for the modern era, but for me, coming up, I think if you say the quintessential wrestling big event, I still go back to WrestleMania 3 because the whole setup, just the main event. You had a Savage and Steamboat undercard, the whole big huge crowd, day to night, still that whole thing. That's pretty much how an event should go. And they've come close here or there, but they haven't. I don't think any card. I don't think you ever can get to that hype for Andre and Hogan back in '87. I don't think any card could probably.
Yeah, it was really special. It was really special. Yeah, I was a WCW/NWA fan, and I still even got hyped for that. I did a whole column. The Hogan Andre match was such a huge part of my childhood. I guess people my age feel that way. And I wasn't even a WWE fan or a WWF fan. I was WCW, NWA, but that's still, I think that is one of those moments, if you're around my age, that's a part of your childhood.
Definitely.
Brian Skelton, last couple second comments, then we're really gonna escape soon because I have to take my son to judo. Nope, it's a tranny pick. No nudity though. So he gave a little secret link. That's why they booed Ray. Yeah, Ray was fucking. Poor Ray Mysterio. Free Ray. Hashtag free Ray. Yeah, teased my ass. Tripp had something going for him. No, hell, he got Bruno and The Rock to come back. Not to mention Jake Warrior and Hall. I just think he's a real wrestling fan and cares about pro wrestling, and he has power. You know what I mean? I don't think that's what, like, if you're Bruno and all these guys, you would rather deal with Triple H than Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon's like, all right, we're gonna have dildos that puke fucking green spew. Get it? Like, puke. I'm going home.
And his name is Puke, not Darren Trotstoff. It's Puke. Yeah, I agree with you. When Vince goes, Triple H, who resurrected the Horsemen as much as he could in WWE. With Evolution. He's a wrestling guy. Hopefully, in 3-4 years, whatever, if we're still watching this shit, it'll turn around.
Yeah, this is a question that we. I guess this will be the last question of the night. Sorry, Brian Skelton. You get mad props for having the most comments, but Mr. Biggs, a.k.a. the bad guy, gets the last comment of the night. Coco, have you seen or met any Japanese AV ladies around Japan? For a long time, I didn't know what AV meant. Like, oh, AV, okay, whatever. It was one of those things you pretended you know what it meant, but then later I was like, oh, adult videos. It's so simple. Why didn't I know that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you meet them often. My friend is dating one. Yeah, they're very common. They're not, it's not rare. But yeah, I've met a lot of Japanese AV ladies, but a lot of times they just use their real names, so I don't know their stage names. When it comes to, like, meeting people, I don't care what your job is, and yeah, I've met a lot of Japanese adult videos, and a lot of my foreign friends date them. I don't know. I'm a bit of a prude. I got married when I was 17 and been married to the same girl for forever. You know what I mean? So, like, that's not my thing. But, yeah, they're really nice people, really thing. But a lot of times I don't know them by their stage names. I'll be like, oh, hey, it's Etsuko. But meanwhile, she's like, Bom Bom Gulubas on her, you know what I mean? It's really, it's a lot more common than you think. Now, granted, not everyone's an adult video actress, but it's, know what it is? I think you meet a lot more adult video actresses in Japan because they're not embarrassed by it. Like, I think in Japan, in America, if you're like, hey, what do you do? And she's not gonna say, I'm bong bong sunshine and fucking titties on fucking sunshineandtitties.com. They'll be like, well, I'm in entertainment, or I'm in dance, you know what I mean? They skirt around it. But here, they're just like, oh yeah, I did adult videos. Matter of fact, one girl I worked with, I was kind of shocked by this. Because school teacher's weird. Like, you know, in America, I could never do this as a school teacher. And I'm a retired school teacher, or forced retired, because of health reasons. Teacher in Japan. I used to be a history and English teacher, but with my stuttering and my memory problems, they're like, yeah, not gonna happen. But yeah, like, I couldn't, as a history teacher in America, I couldn't come on and shoot this shit and be this honest on YouTube. They'd just be like, yeah, you're not getting hired. And I don't think you could be a pro wrestling fan, but here it's normal. And there was one girl, she was crazy pretty that I worked with. And she's like, one day she's like, oh yeah. I'm like, I was like, oh, I joined the military. I joined the military to pay for my college, you know. And I was like, I went through college because they said, oh, how did you pay for college? I said, oh, I joined the military, and you know, it's really cheap if you go through college to the military. And she's like, oh yeah, I did adult videos. And I laughed. I was like, oh, get the fuck out of here. The hot home ec teacher did fucking AV videos. Get the fuck out of here. You know, and I'm laughing. She's like, no, really. And I was like, whoa, wait, so you did adult videos, get your way through college, and you actually got your way through college? That's amazing. She's a home ec teacher.
Not like that. It's not like that in the States. The States, we still have a very puritanical streak here, and a lot of girls who wind up in that are in it for other activities that prevent them from finishing college. But, you know, I grew up on Japanese anime, so seeing, you know, tentacles as penises inserted into, I mean, this is the 80s, so...
That's the norm.
Yeah, that's the norm over there in Japan. It's a different culture entirely.
So there you go. So hopefully that answered your question. Currently looking at sunshinetitties.com. Thank you. Thank you all for the live comments. Please like, comment, subscribe, and tell 12 of your friends about Coco Sports. But before we talk about Coco Sports, Wrestle Rantin, tell them how they can find more. Just plug your shit. I was trying to be all professional like Boom, but I can't do it.
Yeah, he can rattle them off. Yeah, this is Rassslin and Rantin, and we do a show similar to this, not quite the same. Monday Night Raw reviews every Monday. We also do top 10 lists and commentaries, retrospectives on old wrestling events. We have picked up our Wrestling Icon series, as Dave mentioned earlier. We did Ravishing Rick Rude this past week. We have profiles on Hulk.
Give yourself a Barry Horowitz, dude. That was that was done really well. I was shocked, like, because you know normally you're like, oh, it's a friend. I'll just say nice compliments anyway. You're like, yeah, your podcast where you sit in your bedroom scratching your balls, answering comments is real nice. But no, it was really good. I was impressed. Give yourself a Barry Horowitz. Sir.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. We've got those. We've got one coming up on Piper in about a couple weeks, and we are available. We are able to be reached on Twitter.com at twitter.com/Rassslin and at facebook.com/Rassslin and we actually have our blog is finally up. It is up as of today. It's at webchannel24, the number is 24, webchannel24.com/Rassslin, and that's 3 S's in Rassslin. And we'll be adding more content to that as we go along. Leave a little bit more special features on there, some exclusive videos that we can put on YouTube.
Links to cocosports.com.
Links to Cocos. There is a link to cocosports.com on a recent video, and lots of other stuff coming up. So yes, in my spare time, I do this for fun. I enjoy it. You notice I don't have a lot of ads on my. I don't run any ads on my YouTube videos. I'm just a wrestling fan that enjoys wrestling and wrestling history, especially from the 80s and the 90s. So definitely check us out when you have a chance. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to send it to you, Dave, for the go home.
All right. Well, thank you for being on the show. We do run ads. I'm sorry. We're just poor bastards.
Oh, that's fine.
But yeah, check out CocoSports.net. We're improving it every day. We're hoping that it's there. We got a lot of ringside photos from my phone. It doesn't sound very professional, but you can check it out. Also, you know, we want to be the number that also works with other people. So, Rantin, thank you for being part of that. And we're hoping that one day, even you know, because a lot of times blogs, they only put their show. We want to have all the shows. The problem is we don't have all the manpower. So we're hoping we keep improving, that CocoSports.net becomes your #1 stop for all combat sports. And, you go to Wrestle and Rantin for the 20-minute videos. You come to Coco Sports for the 3-hour let's talk about transsexual videos. So please check out Wrestle and Rantin stuff. Please check out CocoSports.com. And you know what? Dear YouTubers, it's okay for two YouTubers to get along. I don't know if anyone sent out that memo. It's okay. You don't have to be a dick. Like, you ever, I don't know, sometimes we get these guys and like, I fucking hate you. Go to my channel. And they're like, you could just say, go to my channel. Oh, really? You're so cool. I thought I had to insult you first. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with the internet? Like, it's like, hey, can we work together? Let me do it by insulting you. Fuck you, Wrestling Ranting. That's a great way to start a relationship.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, actually, that's how we started ours, so that's...
Yeah, but at least ours, we were arguing over John Cena.
Yeah, and it was respectful. It was not...
Content, you know? I'm saying to guys that, like, just come on and just be like, oh, this show sucks. Check out this other show. And I'm like, what are the odds? Because, I don't know, I have a degree in marketing. But what you're gambling on is someone watching this show or their favorite show. What you're gambling on is someone watching a show, going down to the comments going, you know what, the show I am watching and reading the comments on, because watching the show and then reading the comments takes a whole other step. You know what I mean? There's more dedication. A lot of people watch the show and like, fuck the comments. I do it a lot to some of my favorite YouTubers. But you go, all right, so you watch the show, you're hoping that they like the show enough to read the comments. So they go down, read the comments. They obviously like something about the show. So your strategy to get them to your channel is the show you're watching and reading comments that you probably enjoy, fuck them, they suck, come watch us. Then you're like, you know what? Random YouTuber, you're absolutely right. I spent 3 hours watching these guys. They do suck. Let me check out another show. Like, there's too many variables where, like, if someone likes this show and you're like, hey, I do a show just like it, check out my show, doesn't that seem like that would lead to more click-throughs and likes and subscriptions? I just never understood the guerrilla YouTube marketing of, I fucking hate this show, come check out my show. I never understood that marketing campaign.
That's in the wrestling community because, as I've said, I've been trying to put together. I'm still trying to pull together this year-end show. The movie review guys, they don't do this shit. You know, they're all, you know, the Schmoes and Jeremy Johns. They're all buddies and do each other's shows like Dave and I are doing now. Wrestling podcasters on YouTube, you know, take a clue. It doesn't have to be us versus you or you versus us. If we all get into it together, actually, this thing could blow up a little bit bigger than you guys want it to. Or even...
Yeah, and I'll let, but I think a lot of times the wrestling community, they want to be inside the business so bad, they forget how to be fans. And I also think that they all want to be the Vince McMahon character. They all want to be like, well, if I'm a fucking dick, that's how you become successful. You know what I mean? So, and that's not really the case. No. And not Independence Day, I don't know what that means, but Independence Day. Oh, Independence Day is pretty good, but I don't think it holds up in time with Tom. Will Smith's in it. I love Will Smith more than a straight man should, but I remember I was in college. I was like, holy shit, Independence Day. This was the greatest movie ever with special effects. And then you go watch it again, and you're like, wow, from Independence Day to Armageddon. That wasn't much time, but there was a huge leap as far as special effects go. A huge leap in special effects. And I love Will Smith. I don't know. Wrestle Rant has been listening a long time. But I love Wrestle Rant. I love you too. But I love Will Smith and EC3 Probably way too much. Probably way too much. I'm like the type of guy like, oh, Will Smith's taking out his trash. Click. I love these Will Smith. I'm sorry. Judge me all you want. You know, because like there was a time where Will Smith got fucking, you know, shitted on by the rap community, and I was like, that's bullshit. I love Will Smith, but I got a weird. I don't get into music much, so like if I like you, I just like you forever. You know what I mean? Like I still like MC Hammer. I like Slim Shady, but he's changed his name 76 times. And I love Will Smith. I love everything Will Smith does. There, I said it. Judge me all you want. But with that said, if I said, hey, here's a Hollywood blockbuster, I still go with Armageddon. Yeah.
For blockbusters, yeah. My quintessential American movie probably is Scarface.
Yeah, but see, the thing is about Scarface, it's not for everybody. Well, like I think Armageddon is for the masses, and that's part of Hollywood.
Oh well, if you're going to that,
I think Scarface. Because the Simon was picked the movie that represents America the most. But I think Scarface is a better movie. You know, no one's arguing that. But as far as you're meeting someone from a third world country, and you're like, what is Hollywood? I think Armageddon is the perfect example.
I can see
That's
that.
what I wrote my paper on.
I can see that. Yep.
All right. So, boom, boom, and I think WrestleMania 19. It's not the best one, but there you go. Is Sunshine Titties a real website, Brian Skelton? I got to find out. Go to cocosports.net, check out Wrestling Rantin, and above all, if you're of the proper age, check out sunshinetitties.com. I don't know if it's a real website. All right, Wrestling Rantin, thank you. Boom, boom, thank you for your return. Go to cocosports.com. Did I say that enough? And with that, I am over.